Hello. Yeah, not good, Esther. Loads of acros have died. All right. I'll pick myself up and crack on. Yeah, cheers, Cruz. Nice crap. The good thing is I've got some phantom plugs, some nice frags on now. I'm not going to say the tank's perfect. I don't know. Tomorrow, I'm going to do a proper check tomorrow. I'm going to change a few things around tomorrow. Put a new pump in and stuff like that. Get it going. It's got a gyre in now. So the gyre is going. Give it a bit more flow. Like blow the corals more to clean them up. Waking up to seeing all your corals stripping. Worst feeling ever. Craig, who's Craig? Are you there, Cruz? Yeah, I must have lost about 500 quid's worth of corals. I'm back, though. I never went away, I was just soaking. There's no stopping me. No stopping me. Yeah, cheers for jumping in, Esther. Like I say, I've still got some frags for you, Esther. Don't worry about that.
Hey, Paul.
Yeah, Cruz.
Hey, sorry about the heater, man.
Yeah, that's bad, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, bubbling works.
Huh?
I said bubbling works.
Wait. Oh, the bubbling does work, huh? It saved a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Saved a lot.
Yeah. Bubbling went on straight away. And I turned my skimmer up, to a wet skim.
Yep.
And to tell you what, it looked like milk. Do you know what I was skimming out?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
1 second.
Yeah. What?
Oh.
Hey, Cruz, what's up? Hey, Paul.
I'm back.
Hey, how's it going, man? How are you doing, Seymour?
Good.
Yeah, I've tried to save a few of them, Cruz. But like when they were stripping, I took the tops off them. I took the tops off them quickly.
Yeah.
Got them onto frag plugs. So I moved them to the other side of the tank, which is doing perfectly fine.
Yep.
Which is strange. Yeah. But on the phantom plugs.
Yep. On the phantom plugs. Those things held on, huh? Yeah.
I've been testing the phantom plugs today. I've been testing them with glue, milliput, and you know that resin stuff you can get.
Yeah.
And I found out super glue is the best thing for a phantom plug.
Yep. Super glue, the thinnest set stuff. Yeah, absolutely. The thinner, the better.
I did it all that way today. I did it like I said. Look. At first, I was using the resin, and I thought, well, it's hiding in some of the plug. You know when I'm doing it?
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, it's there for a reason, the plug. Design that, with the sunken bit in the middle.
Yep.
Super glue fragging. Beautiful.
Awesome. Well, nah. So you lost a couple of colonies, though, huh?
Yeah, I lost the strawberry shortcake. That big purple and green one that I have. That's like my display piece. That's gone.
Mm-hmm.
The acro that I based, it must have based 4 or 5 inches across the rock and grown up. All of that's gone.
Yep. Well, maybe this will help. Maybe a little bit. This would help.
Yeah. But it's just wrenching. Cheers, Cruz. You don't have to do that,
No, it's okay, man. It's what the hobby's for.
Towards a new coral.
Absolutely. Maybe that'll help.
Thank you very much.
Oh, no, my pleasure. I just hate hearing that equipment's causes a lot of freaking crashes. It's what a lot of people don't realize. Make sure you get the good ones. Make sure that you maintain them. Make sure you do a check.
Yeah, it's the first kind of crash that I've had. Because when it's one coral, it's different. But when it's multiple, it is a type of crash.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is.
But it's I'll tell you what else I lost. All my rainbow Montipora. I had two separate bits, and both of them have gone and all.
Hey, Paul, I got a question. What happened to the corals you were holding for a friend? Are those okay?
Yeah. So, one of them wasn't, but it's weird because it's literally on the left-hand side of the tank where most of them died. Except the.
Well, I mean, if you think about it.
Oh,
yeah, if you think about it.
It's probably because something touched them. Then that's why they died.
Well, it's the electric dispersion. Remember, he had his heater explode.
Yeah.
So it shorted somehow.
It blew my wave maker and all, Cruz. So my wave maker.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying, Seymour? The stray voltage.
Kinda. I gotta say.
Yeah. Well, he had his heater shorted out, I believe, and it caused the thing to crack. It overheated.
Yeah, he got me scared now. Like, as a precaution, I don't go more than 2 seasons, like a full year. Like January, around December, I replace all my heaters anyway. I just don't. The couple of times I've had issues with my tank, it's always been heaters. So I really don't trust heaters, period. So around December, Christmas, people tell me I'm nuts. But the minute anything goes wrong with my heater, like I'll be doing maintenance and I forget to do something and it's out of the water for a second, I throw it away. I don't trust them at all. I get rid of them really easy. Like now I'm down to one, and that's because I was doing a water change and one was I was heating the water and one was outside of the water for about 20 seconds. I didn't trust it. It went in the garbage. So, I mean, I don't know if titanium heaters are better. I might go with titanium this time, but I don't. It's a $25 piece of equipment, and how much? Listen, I don't even want to add up how much I've spent on my tank. I refuse to let it. I refuse to lose my tank because of like a $25 piece of equipment. So around
close to about 12 grand.
Around Christmas,
close to about 12 grand.
I went up to see.
Okay.
My wife is wrong.
I know. Sorry. About $200.
Yeah.
I went up to see Nick today, Cruz.
You are?
I went up to see Nick. Got a titanium heater off him.
Yeah, I'm actually going to try. What do you think of those Cobalt Aquatics heaters? I know a couple years ago they had an issue with the larger ones exploding, but I think what they've done is, like with the 300-watt ones, what they've done is they, instead of having like one large heating element,
They have
you know,
dual.
they basically
Yep.
daisy chain two smaller ones. I've never
Yep.
used those, but according to BRS tests, they are the most accurate. What do you think about trying that type of heater?
We've utilized the Cobalt heaters for 3 seasons now, and they have not failed yet.
All right, I might
Yeah.
try. It's expensive.
And remember, those are first gens. The first gens, you know, once again, it's kind of like what you were saying. You leave it out, you know. Yeah, these ones have never seen air. You know what I'm saying, Seymour?
Yeah, I reprogrammed
So,
my heater the other day too. Um,
mhm.
the minute I shut off my return pump or skimmer, just so no accidents happen, the minute
Mhm.
I shut off my skimmer or my return pump or disconnect the Chato reactor, that probably
Mhm.
means I'm doing some kind of maintenance. The heater
Yep.
turns off, you know,
Nice.
and then if
Yeah.
it's off for a few minutes, it sends me an alarm because I don't want to be caught. I don't want to forget to turn it off.
Yep.
So just by
Absolutely.
default, once I open that cabinet and I'm emptying the skimmer cup or something,
Mhm.
it shuts off. And if it's off for more than a few minutes, then, you know, I'm going to start to get alerts like, hey, your heater's off, your heater's off, your heater's
Yep.
off. I just
Absolutely.
can't afford. Yeah, I just can't afford, you know,
Yeah.
any
What
accident.
we've done is we had a cup. You know, once again, kind of like what you were saying, well, like a redundant heater system where one of them is set to the lowest possible, which is 76 degrees, and then we have the other one that we have 2 other ones that are actually set at I believe it's like 79, 80 degrees, and we also run it at 82 degrees during the winter just to keep it warmer. So we're on a reverse cycle on the temperature, you know, just in case, so that, you know, at 82 degrees during the winter time, and then 79 during the summertime.
What would you say the optimal temperature is for a reef tank?
Optimal?
Yeah.
It depends on what you want to do. I mean, if you're already at a point where your corals are already, you know, full colonies, and you don't want them to grow as fast, I would say go ahead and lower it down to about 77, 78 degrees. Do you know what I'm saying? Cool down the temp a little bit.
I've always had mine. I've got to convert this for you.
Mhm.
78.62 in English, the 25.9.
Yep. Very nice.
Well, that's what I've had it. But today, I've actually raised it a little bit. You know, 'cause it's getting colder over here.
Mhm.
So I've actually
Yep, it's
set
getting
it
cold
to,
over here too.
So what is it? So I've set it to 26.5 maximum. Well, 79.7.
Okay.
Well,
Sounds good.
Yeah, well, that because it's winter, obviously, it gets colder quicker. So that, like, if I put it at 25, it can get colder quicker, you know, within the system. So if I keep it higher, that little bit of a drop it's going to get, I think that'll hold it. But this is the first time I've actually raised it in, what, nearly 2 years?
Yeah.
So
what kind of heaters do you have now?
it's that titanium one. I don't know what brand it is. I got off Nick.
Okay. Yeah, Nick's pretty good when it comes down to equipment. He utilizes the ones that are very, very robust and pretty conservative. Do you know what I'm saying, Paul?
Yeah. Well, he rang me up and he said, "Come to mine tomorrow." So I said, "Why?" He says, "I'm going to sort you out with an heater and a wave maker." So I went up, sorted out with a wave maker and give me a new return pump and all, a bigger return pump, to utilise the random flow generator to make it work.
Yeah, that's a solid. Not many of us left. Not many of us left in the hobby to help everybody else.
I've always helped people. Always give the stuff away that I've got.
Yep.
But I'm just gutted. Do you know what I mean? Gutted to see a system that's thriving and doing so well, and it's something that cost $20 to wreck it all.
Yeah.
It's heartbreaking.
It's crazy. It is. Well, Could tell you one thing though, Paul. You got more room now for more corals. I'm, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Well, I mean, you do. You have more room now.
Well, I've actually got a lot of frags, you know, in my system. And it'll just give me, like I said, where they've died at the minute, like one of them is literally encrusted over the rock. I'm not going to put anything near that for months, just in case there's anything that can cause the other corals to die. So that's just, so that grows coralline over it. Nothing's going there.
With what sit? 1 second, Paul. With what sit down? With the seat down? Yeah, possibly. It's 4 feet wide. All right. Sorry. Yeah, I'm back.
Hello.
Yeah. Sorry about that. Somebody wants to pick up our mirror.
So I was, what was I going to say? Also, you've met Michael and all that.
Yeah. Funny guy. He's pretty funny. Yeah, the only thing is that he was on the clock, so he couldn't hang out with us. You know what I'm saying?
What is it? Come all the way to America and he can't hang out with you?
Yeah. I mean, he was supposed to today, but I didn't go today. It was raining and it's going to be pretty cold tonight. So I was just doing little things around the house.
How far is it from you?
About an hour away. Yeah, but still a long drive. I mean, I can't drink and then try to drive back, especially when the water starts freezing. You know what I'm saying, mate? It's gonna get icy over here in Chicago pretty soon. Yep, all next week is going to be in around the 20s,
what's up, guys?
28, 29. Hey, what's up, man?
Very narcosis.
I met narcosis too.
Oh yeah. Sorry that I had to leave. Basically, my son started throwing a fit that he wanted to go and he wanted to go home.
Oh.
You already know how
he didn't like
that
the
is.
He didn't like the sea lions, huh? He kissed them.
Well, pretty much. Right after the freaking sea lion show, he's like, "I want to go home."
Oh man.
That's why you put your foot down and said, "Listen, I'm the dad."
Yeah. Doing that in front of 5,000 people definitely gets you in handcuffs pretty quick.
Nah. There's a movement now that actually approves parents disciplining their kids.
It's not illegal. It's not illegal over here to smack your kids. If they're naughty, give them a crack. People think it's illegal, but it's not. You know what I mean? A good backhand never did me any harm.
Sometimes it works though, you know, and they don't react again. They don't act up.
I was scared to crap of my dad. Absolutely scared, definitely. You know what I mean? I couldn't do anything wrong. I had to be in before he was in. You know, night time. Even when I was 16, I had to be in before he was in the house. You know what I mean? Yeah,
I did too. Me too.
He disciplined me, and I've never been in trouble for police or nothing. That's because of that.
Absolutely.
There you go. Whoever wants to smack your kids, it's all good for him.
But I mean, there's that fine line. It's like make it hurt that first time.
Yeah.
They're not going to repeat it again. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? The rest of the time is just a threat. You don't have to do anything at that point.
Exactly.
You just threaten them. And that's where a lot of people kind of mess up, you know. They don't make it hurt the first time.
We don't condone battering your kids.
No, hell no.
Your kids.
Oh, absolutely. Just the one, you know. Huh?
So somebody's coming to pick up the mirror for me.
Okay, cool.
I will take a nap.
All right, I'll be out here. All right.
So I have a weird problem going on with my tank. There is something in my tank, I believe, a pest that is making detritus lines kind of looking like a gate on any kind of animal or pest that would do that.
What's it doing it on?
Yeah. Where is it making
Doing it on
the
everything.
line? Like
It
rocks,
is
the
doing
glass.
You're breaking up now, courses.
and yeah, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
No.
All right. So it is making lines on the rocks and the glass, but mainly on the rocks.
Are you sure
About
it's
how
not just a
tall?
snail?
I don't think it's a snail because it is a weird like pattern.
Yeah, what, like, is it like a line, then a gap, then a line, then a gap?
No, it's just pretty much like lines across the rock.
What?
Could be a worm. Yeah, it could be a worm.
Yeah.
Some kind of worm.
Yeah, could be like bristleworm or something.
Yeah, possible. Or it could be one of those other detritus worms that kind of builds utilizing the aragonite as a burrow. Do you know what I'm saying, Paul? You've seen those too.
Yeah, I've seen them.
So you get like a dotty back or something. I mean, I already have a royal grandma and a 6-line wrasse.
Mm-hmm.
Should I get like a orchid dotty back or?
Depends how big the worm is.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that it would be a problem. Like the worm or whatever you got in there that's making that line of poop. Do you know what I'm saying, Narcosis? I think that you should be fine. It's a detritus eater. Because you're not noticing anything else disappear, right?
No. Is it looks horrible. Like it's doing it like all over the place. You know?
You're not set the camera up at night time to film?
No, I haven't did that yet. I have to do that. But
do that before you buy a fish.
To me, it's like more of a like nuisance, like hitchhiker on my live rock. My tank looks like crap. It kind of looks like a serrated gate of detritus. That's what it looks like.
Hey, you have an artistic worm shitter.
Here we go.
Wow.
They're actually called detritus worms.
Yep, detritus worms. And they make the crisscross. They make the crisscross shit patterns, huh?
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. Like crisscross.
Yeah.
It's like everywhere.
All right. Yeah, you have an underwater basket with a freaking detritus worm.
Actually, it says you're perfect there. Like they're beneficial to the system.
Absolutely. Yeah, you don't want to get rid of it.
Yeah, I have a bunch of cucumbers, and I think it's very similar to what Narcosis, where you come out in the morning and you have these. It looks like a string of dog poop. It's just the sand shaped in that way. But Narcosis, I mean, I don't touch my sand, and that's why with the heavy feeding and a super overstock 75, that's why my sand still looks white, because I had a couple and they bred. Like I started with 1 or 2, now I have 4 or 5. And you know, when you come out in the morning, like the sand, but over the course of a day, when the flow goes up, like it basically, sprinkles out and falls apart. And once the wrasses start picking at the sand and the mandarins, but I think it's fine because they keep the sand. Whenever the sand goes through their body and comes out the back, it's crystal clear white. It's back to its original. Yep. So, I mean, yeah, you get up in the morning and you see these strings of like what looks like poo, sand poo, like it's just a sand shaped like poo. Like dog poop, but it's fine for me. I don't worry about it.
I believe we're talking about two different things. I think we're talking about like a sea cucumber.
Yeah, that's what I have.
I'm talking about. It just
This is
looks
brown.
horrible.
Yeah, it's brown and green.
Oh, all right. Sorry, then. Sorry.
No. But there's a lot of things that poop in your tank.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. Like I want to get rid of it.
Oh man.
So I'm having a really big problem with my calcium reactor.
Mhm.
So much kalkwasser to add like a lot of carbon dioxide to actually make the chamber stay lower.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's kind of like freaking me out because when I used to dose with my calcium reactor and my coke, I never had to add so much carbon dioxide.
Weird. So, what's your pH coming out?
It is 6.7 inside the calcium reactor.
Okay, and outside?
Outside it's like 8.3 or 8.2.
Okay. Interesting. And
Do
you're
you
running
mean
this
that is coming out
24/7?
of the effluents
Yeah.
or the inside the tank?
The one that's actually coming outside of the reactor.
Coming out of the calcium reactor? I haven't checked that.
Okay.
So maybe I should
And how
check
much
that
are you
next, huh?
using? Yeah.
It's doing one bubble every 6 seconds.
That's interesting.
Kind of a lot to what I think I used to use. I mean, I'm just kind of going by,
How big is your system?
you know, it is 120 with a 60-gallon refugium with a 40-gallon sump. So, like 200?
No, so about 100 actual water volume. Wow, that's a lot. And you don't have it fully stocked yet, right?
No. What I think is happening is the kalkwasser is going through the calcium reactor and basically eating the carbon dioxide. It's kind of like help.
You mean like
eating it,
absorbing it? Absorbing
Yeah,
it or
like,
reacting with it?
well, reacting with it, turning it into alkalinity or carbonate hardness.
Okay, so the KH.
Yep. Which is fine with me. I mean, more out of the calc, less out of the reactor, more out of the calc, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good question. I need to really see it though. You know what I'm saying, Narcosis? Got to really put eyes on it and see exactly what you're seeing.
So, have you used calc with a calcium reactor?
No, it's typically I've utilized one or the other, and then I also hand dose. You know, like the calcium alkalinity and magnesium on the 2 or 3 part.
Yep.
That's weird. Yeah, I've never really utilized kalkwasser with a calcium reactor.
I
Just
got
never. Do you know what I'm saying? Because both of them are pretty. Gosh, how would you say it? Kalkwasser
the same,
is
but the opposite.
Kind of, sort of. One's pickling lime, and the lime's a little bit higher than having actual calcium. Do you know what I'm saying? So one has a little bit higher calcium than the other.
Okay.
But no, that's interesting that you're actually utilizing more now than you did before. Did you notice a lot of coralline algae like starting to grow? Like purple dots everywhere.
I just put it back on the system. I just put my calcium reactor on my actual display. Like 2 or 3 days ago, because I had it on my frag tank. But basically, I'm just gonna restart my frag tank. So I'm like, well, I might as well take my calcium reactor, stick it on my main display.
Yeah.
And go from there, you know. So that's what I did. And I noticed that my calcium reactor is using a lot more CO2, 6.7, than it did before I actually started my system again and on my frag tank. So, Paul, how is your tank doing? Is it coming back or?
I couldn't tell you. It's too early. Like the corals that were stripping are still, well, they've all gone. There's one that's still, because it was long on a rock, still getting there. But
okay. Have you like tested all your levels?
Like everything's spot on. I say it's looking actually crystal clear again. Do you know what I mean? Nothing else is stripped, so no other corals have started to strip. The main corals that I've
zinc test.
The main corals that I've got is acros. But no other acros in my tank have started to strip. Today everything's been out happy as a chappy. So it seems to be that initial boom what's caused it, then it's just stopped.
Okay.
But we'll see, because I put, like I say, I've clipped some of the frags off. So like stuck them on them plugs that Cruise does, the phantom plugs. As you see, I'm plugging the plugs here. Right? Like I said, I'll see how they go, see if they strip. If like in a day or two they're still there, I know that it's stopped. You know what I mean?
Yep. So have you bought a zinc test?
Nope. No. Would it be zinc? Would it be zinc out of the heater?
The Jaeger heaters have a chrome zinc heater core, and if it busts, it would do electrolysis, basically eroding zinc into your tank.
Do you know what? Let's have a look what it's made of. I'll get the model up here.
Yep.
It is made of
EIM.
the Jaeger heaters.
EIM.
Yeah.
Yeah, Eheim's similar.
Is it?
Well, it is a Eheim Jaeger heater is what it's called.
Or it's called?
Jager.
Yeah. Jager. Jaeger.
Yeah, Jaeger.
Yeah. So yeah, you probably leached out a little bit of metal out of your heater core, Paul.
Yeah.
Have you do you have access to the poly filters?
Yeah.
You know the poly filters that actually pull out everything, the ones that cost like 30 some odd bucks for like a freaking 12x12 sheet.
I'll pick one up tomorrow.
Yeah, I would do that and just freaking stick it in a high flow area and let it suck out whatever the hell is in your water.
Yeah, I'll do that. In fact, what I'll do, I'll stick it in the overflow, so all the water's just going to pour over, innit?
Yep.
Yep. See, that's one of the filters that a lot of people don't really talk about too much, is that poly filter with that resin base.
Yeah. What I did, Cruise.
Yeah. But a lot of people, they say that it's junk and this and that, and it's not. I mean, it's always been my go-to. You know, whenever I get like something in the air, do you know what I'm saying, or something in the water, I would always put it in, and it would tell me based on the color that it changed to.
I used to run. I used to run a reef tank a few years back, and I never had nothing in it. And when I say nothing, I mean Nothing. I ran absolutely nothing. I had Miracle Mud at the bottom, at the back, in a hang on refugium.
Yep.
Right. And I had a polyfilter in there. That's it. And I didn't even do water changes.
Yep.
Nothing. I left it for a year. Did absolutely nothing to it for a year. A cleaner glass.
Yep.
Right. And it was
Very, very low maintenance, wasn't it? Low maintenance, and you got a lot of pleasure out of it just watching it, huh?
Yeah. Well, I said I don't like this polyfilter in the back.
Yep.
When it changed colour, went brown and things like that.
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, hello?
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 Well, something else you can pick up if you is a zinc test.
Yeah, a heavy metals
Zinc.
tester. Yep.
I might send an ICP tester.
Yeah.
Well, yes,
That's what I'm
sending
thinking,
off a ICP test is going to help. Have a zinc test on hand. You can test for zinc and make sure that the levels is going down, is in the proper range.
Yep.
Also, it is kind of nice to have that on hand for later, just in case if you ever have another problem.
Yeah. Cruz, Dr. Walsh, he wants to cultivate shrimp, baby fire shrimp.
Oh, he does.
Is there a way that he could do it?
Oh, absolutely. Freshwater, saltwater.
It'd be salt.
Excellent. Yeah, Miracle Mud would help, actually, in the propagation of it. They also like to sift the sand, or, for food particulates. So, yeah, Miracle Mud would actually help.
And what would he do? What would he do to set up a little hatchery?
We typically, pretty wide and flat. I want to say probably about 2 feet high, 2 to 3 feet high.
Yeah.
Putting Miracle Mud into little what is it called? Like little canisters, like the little 2.5 gallon buckets for pink. Put it in there. Just let them have at it.
Has a nesting bed?
No. Just for them to pick on, to graze on,
Okay.
and then have some flat pans of Miracle Mud as well, and then you feed them naturally, and then of course, I always like utilizing macroalgae to do all my filtration for me. So he has to have a nice little refugium as well, and that's where a lot of the what is it called? The little larvae, the shrimp larvae actually nest, and then as they get bigger, you allow them to actually go into the main pool again. So you're basically culling them right there in the macroalgae area.
Will you feed them brine shrimp powder?
I'd feed them golden pearls and pellet food, and then of course some frozen foods as well. A little bit of squid here and there. Make sure that your calcium's high, so you throw in a couple of cuttlefish bones. Make sense? It's kind of like feeding a bird.
How about iodine?
Yeah, a little bit. You don't need too much. A lot of it already comes from the food. Remember, shrimp are cannibalistic.
Oh, yeah, I got you.
Yeah, the shrimp are cannibalistic, so you can't actually feed shrimp to shrimp. Like frozen shrimp. Yeah, frozen shrimp with the shell on. Go ahead and chuck a couple of those in, a couple of tails. They eat the tails. That also builds up their keratin base. So you could eat your shrimp and then give them the legs, the head, whatever. Let them eat that.
So yesterday when I left, did you guys actually go out for dinner?
Yeah, we did. We didn't know where the hell you went. Yeah, we didn't know where the hell you and Tim went.
Well, basically, I told Mike that I was going to leave, and I was trying to find Rico's wife to let her know, hey, sorry, I got to go, and let Rico know, but I couldn't find her.
Yeah, we went to the Aquavision's shop and the
Yep.
Elegant Coral shop after that. So yeah, we took a look at some coral porn for a little bit.
Yeah. No invitation for good old narcosis. I see how it is.
No, we were looking for you, and you just kind of disappeared. You just like freaking boned the hell out of there. we're like, where'd he go? I don't know. Does anybody have his number? Nope. So yeah, you didn't leave us in a good position either. So we took off. We're like, we'll see him back at the show. So, and then we didn't see you at the end.
Yeah.
Like at the meet and greet at 6 o'clock. That's when we got back. Was around like 5:40. Yeah, we came back at 5:40 for the meet and greet for the speakers.
Oh yeah, I got you. Took you that long, huh?
Yeah, a little bit. Well, I mean, dude, when you're watching porn, you have to take your time.
Yeah.
So no, it was we were looking for you for a little bit. I want to say a good 5-10 minutes. Like, where the hell is he? He just disappeared. Like 1 minute you were there taking pictures with us, and the next minute you were gone. And we're like, holy shit. It was like a drive-by. Met everybody and then you left.
Yeah. Kid was acting up, so I had to go, man. I was with the fam, so.
Yeah, no. No, it's acceptable, bro. We know how it is. We have kids.
Oh yeah. Was pretty happy to meet you guys for the 10 seconds I could. Before you guys cut out on me with no invitation.
No, we threw it out there. We were just looking. We're looking for everybody else that we wanted to come.
Right. Exactly.
And then when we got back to the freaking stand with Mike, you were gone, and we're like, okay, we thought that you were gonna hang out with freaking Michael Aarons for a little bit.
He had his other business ventures, he had to take care of. So I was like,
Gotcha.
Like I got kids, I got to pay attention to them.
Yeah. That's one of the reasons. So. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I went alone yesterday. I was there at 8 o'clock in the morning until probably like about 10:30 at night.
Nice.
So a little bit tired. I didn't go today.
Oh yeah, I didn't go today. Yeah, I didn't go today either. I wasn't gonna make the 2-hour drive again.
Mm-mm. No, but we got to meet you. You got pictures, so you could say that you were there.
Oh
pictures
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, pictures or it didn't happen, right? Like Magna. I'll call you out on that one.
Yeah, man, nobody could find me at Magna. Nobody could find me.
Oh man, that was funny.
That's great.
Yeah, well, I mean, Mike's like,
video footage of the airport.
freaking Mike Paletta was asking. He goes, "Who was that kid?" He did a drive-by, asked a question, and he disappeared.
That's funny. That's hilarious. Yeah.
He didn't even get to answer you completely, and you were gone. That was funny shit, though.
Like Batman.
Yes. Yeah.
Kind of like Batman. Ask a couple questions.
No,
you turn around and I'm gone.
No, not like freaking Batman. You were like that freaking butler for freaking Mr. Deeds.
That's funny. That's hilarious.
No, it was like you were there for like 5 minutes. You were all hyped up and everything, all excited like a kid in a candy store, and then you were gone.
Welcome to narcosis.
Let me say, that was interesting.
He is just a fig of your imagination.
Yes, I thought he was here. He was here somewhere.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah,
Dude,
no, that's funny though.
By the way, I got into that place for free, and some other guy was trying to get me to get a press pass to go and see all of the talks.
Yep.
What was going on? And I'm like, I don't know if I should do this or I should not. Should I take the press pass and go to all the talks and be known, or should I just disappear? So I just disappeared. That's what's up.
Homeboy did a Casper the Friendly Ghost shit. Float in, float out, undetected.
Undetected.
That's
So
yeah, that's what I did over there.
At my baby mom's house, got to drop my kid off. So I'll catch you guys in a minute.
All right, 10-4. See ya. Yeah, he's an interesting one, Paul.
I know.
Interesting. You should see some of the freaking pictures that Rico's posted. Homeboy does look like he was like freaking sprung out on something. He's got so much freaking energy. You know, it's like in, out. Okay. Was he really here? You know?
Yeah.
That was about it. Shook our hands and that was it.
He's lying there?
No, he wasn't. He had something come up last minute.
Right.
So I was there with Mike. Mike was sporting the elegant coral shirt, the polo shirt.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think he was there today too. He was wearing the black shirt today.
I'm going to have to come out to one. Definitely.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. We're actually going to be making a road trip out there to see him. See him, Sanjay. Get some corals. Go home.
Yeah. This is some of the corals our last cruise. Let's get it, son. I don't know if you can see the video. There's some of them there.
Yeah. Let me see. I can't see.
You not see?
So
that's some there. Hang on. I've got a tub
absolutely.
full. A tub full there. Look at that.
Yep. Absolutely. Ugh. Sorry about that, man. Hey, give me a second.
No worries.
Give me a second. The person who's here for the mirror just got here.
Not a problem.
All right, I'll be right back.
All right, in a bit. Yep, Stian. Yeah, I've lost loads of mackerels. Loads. Where's Nick gone? Nick, are you here? You jumping on, Dave? Let's get a new one. Put a new one here. Quick, Dave, we can talk. Narcos is not here. You're right, Dave. You're right, Nick.
Yeah, man.
Here, I want to show you this, right? Do you know when shops put corals on? Yeah?
Yeah.
You know, on Facebook. I can name some.
Yeah, I just got a minute before dinner, so I thought I'd hop in and so I could see what you're showing because it's going back and forth on YouTube. You're not locked in.
Yeah, watch this, Dave. You need to mute your YouTube there.
Me?
Yeah. I think it's you. It's all right, Austin. Look at this for a Photoshop.
I just shut YouTube off. You still hearing it? Because I got YouTube shut off.
No, it's good now.
That was weird. It was muted. All right.
Look at that for a Photoshop.
Oh, you're making them look good again?
No. A shop was selling a coral, this coral, and this coral. Yeah? What can you see the difference between that? That's the same coral. You see it? Yeah. It's the same coral. Look.
Giving you the other one, huh?
That's crafty, isn't it?
Yeah.
Look, What's that?
Too bad they don't have lights that can do that.
Oh no, yeah.
You just buy crappy looking corals and make them all look good.
Oh, look what Nick's got.
Your silent turtle.
Should I plug it in?
The new Max Spec.
Isn't it? Isn't it already plugged in?
No.
You're silent, bro.
I got a choice of selling it or using it.
Use it first. If you like it.
First, right? I got to test it before I can sell it to make sure I understand how to use it. Let me see. Let me swap this over.
Welcome to the unboxing video.
There's like loads of bits. So I think it's going to take more time to look through it and do it than I've got now. But
okay, I'm back.
Looks pretty cool.
Hey, Dave.
Hey, Cuz.
What's up?
Hey, Nick. How you doing? What are you doing?
I got
Hey,
a couple
Paul,
of the new
present
Max
Nick
Spec
to
pumps.
the class, please.
Very nice.
The new Max Spec pumps. I don't know whether to use one or just keep them and sell them.
It's pretty.
Yeah, looks pretty.
I love it how it's got dual. It's dual. You know what I mean?
Up until a week ago, I was using a pond pump with a metal shaft, so that one looks nice.
Mm-hmm.
I've got the new controller as well, the same as the Giants. So, yeah, I might read the instructions and then decide to hook it.
It looks complicated. If it doesn't just come out of the box and plug in, that's me knackered.
Oh, can you put him on YouTube? Can you present him?
He's been presented, isn't he?
Oh, I don't see. All I see is your icon on YouTube. I don't know, guys. What do you guys see? Do you guys see Nick's pump?
Let me just go on YouTube one sec.
It's a really nice pump. It's blue.
Yeah, he's been presented.
All right, then my YouTube's broke.
Like three bags of bits. 1, 2, 3. Controller. I've never seen that many bits in the pump before. And then the pump itself, so. Yeah, I'll read it. I'll read it first. I better plug my iPad back in because it's losing.
Yeah, reading's good.
Yeah.
Just plug it in, put it in the water. Find him up, you know.
It's got like
Who needs directions?
But it's got like 2 inlets and 2 outlets, so I can't just stick it in. I've got to like connect it all up to make it work.
Can't all plug in the same place though.
Just use glue. Just use glue and silicone and a little bit of masking tape.
Hey, I'll tell you what's really good is the pump has a rubber like gasket that goes into the foot plate
Mm-hmm.
to get rid of the vibration. Oh.
Hey, Paul, if
Very
you keep
cool.
it going, I'll be back in a little bit.
Yeah, no worries, Dave.
All right.
Yeah, I'm catching a bit.
Look for you in a bit.
I like it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to cut out a little bit too, Paul. Nick,
Okay.
I'll be back in a little bit.
Just have a look at this quickly, right? This is someone selling corals on Facebook, right? Let me just put my camera on.
Mm-hmm.
How doctored is that?
What's his name?
I don't even know who's selling it. They're sending me. I get people sending me pictures of what people look at.
Is that off the Elegance Corals website?
No. These are doctored. These are that doctored. They just look horrendous.
Yeah.
Like that. Look, selling the same coral with 2 different colours.
Yep, depending on filter or no filter.
Exactly. But they're selling them as 2 separate corals.
Really?
Yeah.
It's the same coral.
Well, I know that, and you know that.
Wow. Yeah, that's Did they ask you for mortgage payments
That's
for the
what
squirrels?
I should go to a second.
Now
and buy
accepting
both.
mortgage payments.
I was second to buy both. I was second to buy both, please. See, they're going.
I know, right? I like two of them, please. Two of each.
Yeah. No worries.
Yeah, they saw that you got a super chat.
Yeah.
They want to take you for your money.
Anyway, thank you, Cruz. Everyone, Cruz donated $30. Super chat before. It's all going to go to put corals back in the tank. Nick donated stuff to me before.
That's cool.
Cheers, Cruz.
That's what friends are for. That's what friends are for.
Very much appreciated.
It's no problem.
Yeah, no problem.
Paul, name them.
No, we've all been. We've all been there before. We know how it hurts.
Well, so the only thing I've ever had is I had velvet once. It like my fish went. I said, but my corals were fine and all that. This is the first time I've had like mass corals die.
Mm-hmm.
I said I've had a frag here, a frag there, which everyone has, but never colonies at least. No.
Yeah. Well, I mean, everything was doing really, really, really well, and then all of a sudden, Peter.
Well, they always said, don't they? As soon as something kicks off and it looks good. But,
yep. But
it's upsetting.
Hey, Asa, how are you doing?
Hey, pretty good. How's it going with you?
Doing all right, man. I'm going to be doing that pretty soon. Chilling, kicking back, watching TV.
Yeah.
Yeah. You doing good?
Yeah, I'm doing good. I spent the weekend doing some Reef training over in Raleigh, which is about 2 hours away. So I've been on the road about 8 hours this weekend. So I'm a little tired, but all's good.
Wow.
Hey, Asa, how's it going?
Fast. Pretty good. Pretty good. How about you?
Yeah, good. Did Terrence contact you about beta testing the Trident yet?
No.
The other stuff you wanted to do?
No. What was he going to beta test that that testing unit?
Yeah, you were talking to me about you wanting him to get you to test it. I brought attention to your video and stuff, so I don't know if he talked to you at all.
No, he probably hasn't started the testing of that yet.
All right, okay.
Because he hasn't contacted me.
Oh, okay. I think he knew who you were, though.
They're still messing with the core. They haven't released that yet, so they probably started after they released the core.
Gotcha. Oh my god!
So you lost coral? Did you have a tank crash or something?
Paul did.
Yeah, Paul did. The coral, yeah.
Oh, so is this your chat or somebody else's?
No, this is mine.
So hold on, super chat you if I can find it.
He had a heater explode on him, so all the metal and stuff. No, his heater exploded and all the stuff inside went into his tank and wiped it out.
Oh,
we'll do a super chat.
Yeah, how do you do that?
It should be down in the what are you using, an Apple, Asa, or an Android?
No,
or
Android.
Android. It should be by the chat text on YouTube. There should be a little $sign.
Oh yeah. Okay, cool.
But Paul says he's only going to keep softies from now on.
Yeah, right. No, once you taste the rainbow, you can't get rid of that taste. You know what I'm saying?
Cruz, I can't believe you just mentioned rainbow. Knowing I've just lost my Montipora rainbow.
Flashbacks. Flashbacks.
Yeah.
I just watched Dan's Reef YouTube live stream from earlier on tonight, and he's saying that he's gonna go all softies because it's a lot easier to look after, and he just hasn't got time to look after an LPS or an SPS reef tank.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay. And he says it's because reefing isn't a skill. It's not a skill.
It's an art. It's an
no,
art.
it's not an art because all it is just learning what to do and then doing it. So therefore, it's not a skill. You know, that's what he said.
Oh, it's a regimen.
It's not a skill.
Oh, it's a regimen.
Yeah,
it's a regimen.
It's not a skill. It's just you just need to learn what to do and do it. So it's not a skill. Therefore, it's not a skill.
Is it? Oh yeah. Driving a race car isn't a skill either. All you have to do is just know how to drive.
Yeah, he actually said no. He actually said, you know, obviously, like anyone can learn how to drive, but driving like a race car driver is a skill, but reefing isn't a skill.
Asa, thank you very much. He just donated $40.
Wow.
Asa,
you can get some nice softies with that, Pop.
I tell you what.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Oh. No,
yeah,
I
got to
that's very generous.
Since I got that. I just got
generous.
that. What do you want that frag pack? So I got to pay it forward.
Oh,
nice, man.
Well, that's definitely going towards a frag pack. We'll do a frag pack unboxing when I get them all.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
What's in a frag pack?
Just lots of mixed frags.
Oh,
assortment of frags of coral. Oh.
Sometimes you know what's in it. Sometimes you don't. It's like a lucky bag.
Like a lucky dip.
Yeah. You can get an iron frag pack or a standard frag pack. Like Nick has got loads of new corals today. Ooh.
Ooh, lots of nice new corals. Oh. I'm just changing out my aura membranes. Hey Cruz, I changed out my DI resin, and my TDS went up a few notches. So I'm figuring it must be my membranes, right?
Yeah.
Which sucks.
Did they pop?
Pop? What, the membranes?
Yeah.
I don't think so. Can they pop? What do you mean by pop?
Yeah, because I mean, you're pushing it through right now, and you're getting a high TDS, right?
Yeah.
Oh. Oof. Well, let it run for a little bit.
I've run it for like an hour, and it's still the same. And it's all fresh.
Run for a little bit longer.
No, I've never had to run it for longer than that before.
Well, is there any way that you could pull out the membrane cartridge and take a look at it, see if there's any scoring? Because remember, sometimes those freaking the membranes dry out if they're not in the freaking plastic, in that aluminum plastic wrap.
Oh no, I think it's probably about 10 months since I changed it, so they probably need a change. But I've got a commercial one, so they shouldn't be changing that often. But the only problem is the TDS here is really bad. You're like nearly 300. So these aren't gonna. I guess these aren't gonna last as well because the TDS is so high here. So it's probably fair that they're not gonna last as long as they should. You know, on average, because the TDS is above average here, so they're filtering a lot more crap out.
Gotcha.
Than would be normally expected. So I just have to bite the bullet and change them.
Yeah, just change out a different. Change out the different. Change out a different membrane.
Yeah. We'll see what happens.
Sorry about that.
It.
Yeah.
How was the event?
It was very, very fun. Got to meet Mike Paletta's fiance.
Cool. Did he have fun?
Yeah. Yeah, he did. we were pretty raunchy. Because he kept on saying, yeah, we need to go to the room to get our jackets. I'm like, dude, why didn't you just bring them? I was like, oh, I know.
Yeah, I know, Mike. It's like code, right?
Oh, absolutely. We thought it was funny. We just kept on ribbing him the whole time.
Did Michael have fun meeting Mike?
Yeah. He enjoyed talking to him. He goes, "Hi, I like your guys' accents."
Oh, man.
Aquarium, he's a cheeky ass. See what he just said there?
What did he say?
He said, we're talking about that. He said, it's so understandable. It's very gutting. He said, especially when you're a poorly paid postman.
I still can't get over Danny Newman's YouTube video.
I just had a quick dance for it. I'll look for it then.
He's so funny, that guy.
What's Dean say there? Minus 14 in summer, 11 tonight. What's that? Is that temperature?
I would have thought so.
Yeah, I think it will be one. Yeah. Anyway, Asa, I am genuinely.
Yeah.
How would you say it?
Very appreciative.
Yeah. Thank you.
That's cool. So tell me, what happened to your heater? You just blew up?
Yeah. Yeah.
He had a glass one, so.
Yeah, it must have had a
what brand was
leak
it?
or something. Eheim.
Really? Oh man, I just bought one.
It was only 12 months old as well.
I'll send the $40 back.
Yeah, you get a new one.
Get a new heater.
Yeah.
Hey, sorry, I gave Paul one of my titanium ones, so no chance of that breaking or exploding. I always use the titanium heaters.
I guess I'm gonna have to take it out. What happens when they blow up?
The heating element on the Eheims is made out of nickel and is it zinc?
Yeah.
So you can get when they heat up and they carbonize and they burn off and stuff like that, you get all of that oxide going into your system. So
and then that starts killing your fish and corals?
Yeah, it's like I think more contact than anything. So yeah, it's not good.
What do you mean contact?
When it goes onto the coral. When it goes onto the coral.
Yeah.
Fruit with the water and it collects on the coral and it doesn't do your coral any good.
I know, man. So is that going to mess with softies as well?
I'm not sure what Paul was saying. I mean, Paul can tell you himself, but from what he was saying, in front of the return jet was where all the most damage was done. So I'm thinking it was because that's getting the brunt of the stuff coming out through the return, from the return pump from the sump, and the sides of the coral that were facing the return nozzle got the worst of it, and then the stuff on the other side of the corals wasn't so bad.
Well, I just bought an 800 for my one in my refugium, and a titanium one.
Right.
And I guess I'll just take my brand new Eheim and throw it in the garbage and buy a 300.
What you could do with that one, I'd keep that one and just use it if you're doing water, like to warm water up in buckets and things like that.
Or as an emergency heater and stuff, I mean, the thing is, so it's like with Paul's, his exploded, but it could be like a 1 in 100,000, that's done it. It doesn't mean it's going to do it. It's just maybe he was unlucky being that one, but me
Yeah, but I've
personally,
always
that's why
heard
I use.
Number one reason for crashes is heaters.
Exactly. That's why I always think. I was saying to Paul the other day, it's weird, isn't it? Because a heater is probably one of the cheapest pieces of equipment that we have, but can be the most devastating. And yet, it's like that. I use a titanium heater with a digital controller, so that probably costs about 70 or 80 pounds compared to a 20-pound heater. And people go, "Wow, why don't why don't you just spend 20 pound on a heater? Why do you spend like 70, 80 pounds?" And it's like, because I don't want the cheapest thing to be most responsible for a system failure. If a pump burns out, you've got time, right? But if your heater blows, it's game over.
Well, I've got an Apex that I wanted to. I was watching the what is it, bulk resupply, and they said, okay, well, you have the blend of the two technologies.
So if you got Apex, you can plug your heater into a socket and it'll do it. You can use the Apex as a temperature controller.
Right.
So but if you got that, you might as well use
Apex
it. Yeah, the Apex will switch on and off the heaters. So.
Right, but I mean, what if the Apex goes out?
Then it leaves it to a default.
Yeah, I guess so.
It just leaves it as a default.
To switch subjects, your cruise is still here, right?
He's just gone.
I think he said he had to go earlier, so I think he's just jumped out.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm thinking about buying some Miracle Mud as well as getting some real mud from the ocean.
All right.
Or near the ocean. So I wanted to ask him about that because I got that Refugium that's 130 gallons and got to fill that up.
Right. Yeah, I'm not sure the differences between the Miracle Mud and what you could get yourself.
Yeah.
Narcosis.
What's up, Paul, baby?
Did you hear about Joey King? So it looks like Joey. Joey's had a heater failure. Let me see if I can find it.
What, recently or before?
I don't know. Aussie Dan. How long ago did they have a failure?
Dan has a failure every week, I think. That's me just being nasty now.
It's like this the heater. I could have took it back to the shop, but they shut down. It shut down the shop. I got it from Cockfields, didn't I? Just before it shut down.
Oh, this doesn't make sense. My TDS has gone up to 80 odd now. Why?
Nick,
your TDS gone up to what?
80.
Nick, has your resin got an airlock in it?
No, I've just bubbled it out. But even if it has, it shouldn't be up that high.
Have you ran it for like 10 minutes?
No, but it shouldn't need to be run that long for that. It's like jumped up like crazy amounts.
Yeah, Art Royal says it's cheap, the iResin. It's not about being cheap. It's not out of date, is it?
No.
It's not been left open.
No. But it can't jump up like, before I changed my membranes, it was at 5, and now it's at like 50 odd. Or it's coming down. Might be just the membranes clearing through. It's coming down like 1 per second, so.
Yeah, so in the membrane, there is some oils and stuff inside the membrane that you basically got to wash off for like the first 20 minutes.
All right, that might be it. Yeah, it's coming down. It's like 28 now. So it's like half.
Stein. No, it wasn't the one in the black one. It was the glass one.
So if I use one of
a newbie.
Who, me?
Yeah, man, you sound like a rookie for a minute.
Well, to be honest, what I've done before, I haven't really like switched on and watched it. I've just switched on and then filled big containers of it. So, but it still doesn't seem right to me. It's like it seems to be coming down really slow.
All right. What was I going to say? Yeah, like I said, I changed mine a couple of weeks ago, and it stayed around 8, then about 5, but it took about 10 or 15 minutes to fully flush out.
Yeah, but I've had this running for like ages now. That's the only thing.
Settlement is what it's called, man.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe.
Yeah, see, I don't know that, Steve.
Nick, I
Yeah.
have a weird pest in my tank. It is a worm. It is leaving a trail of detritus, and it's
Right.
on my live rock.
Detritus worms. That's what it is. Listen to us. We know us stuff. It's detritus worms.
Yes. So how do I get rid of them?
You don't need to unless they get out of proportion. They're one of the best things you can have in your
They're out of
system.
proportion, for sure.
Oh, you'll have to get some of that stuff that kills all the worms and that. Have you changed all your filters on it, Nick?
Yeah, everything's been changed now. Oh, that might help. I'm back flushing.
I was going to say, just make sure there's no airlock in the thing because that causes it to go up. I don't know why.
No, I've done that already. I'm just back washing it now.
I was going to say, it's always the DI resin one that always gets the airlock in it.
It's down to 10 now. I'm back flushing it through.
Your
So.
TDS coming straight out of your tap. Check your TDS coming out of your membrane, coming out of your DI resin, and solve your issue. That'll tell you which one is not good.
What? Say what? I've got my inline TDS meter going from the mains in between the mains and the unit, and then my outgoing probe is from the last from after the last part after the last TDS the last DI resin pod.
Well, say what TDS meter is it?
Oh, it's a HM. Just a generic one. But I also have a pen as well to cross-reference.
The pen should be more accurate than that.
Yeah.
You're breaking up narcosis.
Why is it coming out at 10 though? 9, 10. This is weird.
Ross said double check it. Just get your pen out, Nick, and check the water with your pen.
I did do earlier and it was at 8. That's why I thought, well, I'll change my membranes then, but like now it's reading 12. It's not going down anymore. It's like I've changed stuff out to make it better and it's not changing.
Did you get a cheap membrane?
No. These are Vontron commercial grades.
Okay. That one looks pretty good.
Yeah, exactly. You should be fine. See, it's the same membranes as I always use, and normally I get 0 everything. So that's why I don't know why it's doing what it's doing now. It's a mystery. That is weird. Because I've got 2 DI resin pods as well. A big one and a normal one.
Yeah.
So even if...
So, did you change out the membrane, and how many gallons have you ran through it?
How many what?
How many gallons have you ran through that brand new membrane?
I've just changed it just now.
Okay. You need to let it run for at least 20 minutes to let it get out all of the oils from the membrane.
Right. Well, it's down to 10 now, but it's not dropping anymore.
Yes, you need to still let it run because of the oils will not get taken out from your DI resin.
Right. I'm getting some flow though.
Steen said someone's crapped in your well.
It's just weird. I haven't noticed it do this before. That's what's weird about it. I'm sure last time I changed it on, got it all running, it was down to 0.
You got some water running off, Nick. I'll run you some water off.
No, maybe I just ran it longer when I left it running, and when I came back, it was at 0. So maybe I didn't just like observe it straight away. So it's probably like narcosis. It probably ran it out before I came back to check on it last time.
Let's see more anyway.
It's just weird. It's just sticking at 10.
Royal saying, Nick, listen to Narcosis.
Yeah. It's not dropping. That's the only thing.
How about your pin? Does your pin say 10 too?
Is my what?
Your pen.
Does your pen say 10?
No, I haven't checked with my pen yet, but when I checked earlier today, they're both tallied up. So. It's just annoying that I've changed every single filter.
Did you change all of them with the same filters?
Yeah, I've changed them all. Like my carbon block, I changed with a carbon block, and my carbon particular filter, I've changed with a carbon particular filter. I've changed the pre-filters, and I've changed both the membranes and both of the DI resin. So everything is brand new.
Are you running a 0.5 micron carbon block?
I don't know what size it is, to be honest.
You make me laugh.
I don't know which carbon block it is.
What's up, fellas?
Hey.
So Nick.
I think Paul summoned me.
Paul summoned you?
Wondering where you were. You was there and then you disappeared.
I was eating dinner, man. I was watching the Manchester United game too.
Shut up. Hang on, let me just block him 1 minute. Listen, we're still above you.
So,
yeah.
You go to the store and you buy a T-shirt. Do you actually look at the size, or you just pick it up and go, oh, this will fit me and walk out?
I just thrown carbon all over my floor.
This is your day.
What type of carbon? Is it ROX 0.8?
No, I'm just throwing all of my all these filters that I've changed. I'm just throwing them on the floor because I've got a big IBC that I fill up for the water changes for the installs, and I'm stood on top of it where the RO is. So I'm just tidying up all the crap that I left here from last time when I changed the filters, and they all just split all over the floor. So I'll have to sweep it up. It's still at 10. That's not right. That's not right.
10
Something
TDF?
not right. Yeah, I don't know why. It hasn't done this before.
It's new. You just probably need to flush.
Well, I've not ever had this before. Because I've changed these a bunch of times. That's why I had a collection of stuff up here.
Maybe it's the membrane?
I've just changed them.
Even
Just changed
the
them both.
RO membrane itself?
Everything. Every single filter on this has just been changed. All the resin has been changed. Both the carbon blocks, the carbon block and the particular carbon's been changed. The pre-filter's been changed, and both the membranes has just been changed. So I have to run it and see what happens, but I don't know why it's not getting below 10. This is crazy. It was reading less before I changed them than it is now.
Oh.
So I don't understand it.
Wait, what? All right.
Exactly. How can it read more than it was before I changed them?
Dave said it could be a faulty membrane.
Maybe.
So the only membranes that I will order is Dow membranes. The Virons. The Virons are Americanish.
The Vontron, you mean?
Nick, are you sick? Because you sound funny.
Me?
Yeah.
No, I'm not sick.
All right.
No, I'm good.
So what's up in reefing, guys?
Reefing sucks. Time to get a new hobby.
You know what? I've been thinking about that for the last week.
It's the sunk cost. I already sunk enough into this now.
Oh man!
Wait, Paul, you were thinking about a new hobby? Come on, bro.
No, just seriously. In fact, Nick, didn't I text you the other day saying I've had enough?
I'm finished. I'm gonna break down my tank.
Really?
That was Paul. I'm gonna break down my tank.
Because of one because of one bleaching event?
Yeah.
No, because that happened. It was actually the day. In fact, it was the day before that, wasn't it, Nick? Before that happened.
Well, now you have space for more corals, man. I would only go with expensive name brand stuff from now on, like those ordinary Montipora. Bah. No.
Yeah, well, you can say that until one strips like that. Like one of them that I had, that purple one, Nick. That's an expensive one.
I got a coral from a guy. I traded with a guy on Friday for something called a mother of pearl. And over here, the last guy who sold it for $179 a frag. So I got 2 frags, 1 small frag, and a bigger one. I gave one to Billy. I'm like, Billy, you hold on to this for me, because if I screw this up, I need somebody to have another colony that I can go and get a frag.
Yeah.
So
Seymour, I've told you before about me and my mate that we always share us corals, so we've always got one of each.
That's where I got the idea from, Paul. That's where I got the idea because I'm like, if I put it in my tank and kill it, that's $179. I didn't pay that for it. Like I traded a guy some old equipment I had here. So
yeah, but this is what I'm saying. His corals are in my tank at the minute while he's redoing his tank up.
Oh,
and this has happened in my tank at the time.
Did you lose any of his?
Oh, a couple.
Oh,
he needs a new bank.
My dog's farted.
He needs a new bank.
He needs a new bank, doesn't he? Paul's bank's no good.
So, I met
Paul's bank got robbed.
Michael Lawrence yesterday. Trolled him in real life.
Who's that?
That's what I do. I'm a troll.
Who did you troll?
I trolled Mr. Aaron's Aquarium yesterday.
Oh, man.
Yeah, my TDS pen is also saying 10.
TDS pen is also saying 10.
Faulty membrane.
Sucks.
Try to hook up something that is before the actual DI and see what is coming out of that membrane. See what is going in for your tap. See what's coming out of the membrane. 99% rejection. Garbage. Get a new one.
Isn't but do you have an RODI system with a built-in TDS meter?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what that measures. The first, I don't know, on the DRS one, the first one it measures after the membrane, and the second measurement is after the DI state. So Narcosis, he can easily get a cup of water and measure, with his TDS pen.
That's what I've just done.
Yeah. So, and then what's coming in? So is it a 99% rejection? I mean.
Yeah, he's not changed the pipes. He's just literally just changed the filters.
Yeah, I've just changed all the filters and all the DRS. But what I'm going to do is use this cup and unhook everything in sequence to see if there's anything contaminated.
Yeah, his DI is
That's the only way to do it.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the only way to go. Just separate one at a time.
That's the exact same thing I just told him to do.
Stop lying.
Yeah, but I did it prettier.
Say what he wants, and he just did a super chat for $40.
Yeah, where's your super chat now, Faces?
Super chat.
He needs more subscribers.
Come on, man. I'm pretty poor.
Never used super chat.
I'm pretty poor, guys. No lie.
Tell you what, I've got on this chat already $70 of super chats.
Really?
Just for this chat.
So that's one acro back.
Sounds like
one acro? You kidding me, right?
That should be like 4 acros.
Dude, I bought a bunch of $5 frags today. Like only the name brand stuff should be like $70. Like what kind of acros are you buying?
Well, Nick, how much was that strawberry shortcake that I got stripped? About 200 quid.
Yeah, £250. I would have thought.
What?
Why?
Gotta remember, you guys are in the States.
$16 a frag here.
Yeah, it's not over here. Because it's hard to get hold of over here. But it was a colony. It wasn't a frag, it was a colony.
Yeah. Pretty much over here, we don't buy colonies. We buy frags over here.
No, I do. But I'm saying that the things that have died, they're not frags. Everything that's died is a colony. I've lost my colonies that I've grown from frags.
Yep.
You lost your babies.
Oh, I'll tell you what. The colony that I've lost, I've looked at this picture, right? This is the picture of, I showed it Nick before. What I grew it from. And you'll see why I'm devastated. Let me just find it.
So I spent $300 on a frag of Cornbread's SBS, and it was only like half an inch maybe.
Trying to find this bloody thing.
Oh man.
Just bear with me. I'm just looking for me my baby. What died?
Baby. So coming out, my first RODI, my DI resin block is 13 TDS. So I wonder what it is going in.
So I am about to show up to my old business partner's house. I'm gonna ask him if he's gonna. Oh shit, he's got construction. If he will let me show his tank on live stream. He might not because it's kind of like a more seller's tank, so he might not let me show it. But I'm gonna ask him.
All right.
All right. So I'll be back.
All right. Bye.
So now, if I take one of those Eheims and put it in one of my tubes for growing zooplankton, and it pops, by the time it gets to the main tank, is it still going to do damage?
I think once it's in there, it's in the full water system, innit?
So it's just going to be free floating.
Yeah. Right. I'm going to put the camera on it. Yeah. Right. So. That is what it grew from that tiny little bit there. So I grew from that. Right, now let me get the colony up. Grew from that to that. Look.
Boom.
Do you know what I mean? That's why I'm devastated. Knowing that it's grown from just a little speck to a full colony. I've lost that one. That's completely gone. That's gone.
Next time this year, next year, it'll be a joke. We'll be laughing about how much new colonies you have.
I'm hoping so. That's gone. That's gone. That's completely gone. All that's gone.
What heater did Nick give you?
Shugo titanium.
Oh, I'm either gonna go with a titanium heater or the Cobalt Aquatics little plastic heaters. Although I trust
they failed as well. I think Narcosis had one that just failed.
Yeah, the first generation ones failed, but I think what they did is they had the older. What happens is they had it was the larger ones. When you get to like 300 watts, the larger ones were failing. I guess
okay.
The larger so what they did is for 300 watt now they just daisy chain 150 watts together.
Gotcha. So they're more reliable.
Yeah. So Cruz was saying earlier he's been using one for 3 years. So.
Okay.
So, but I'm still leaning towards the titanium though.
Yeah, I like the titanium ones just because you can, if you bang it around a little bit or and stuff like that, it's gonna be harder to damage.
The 2 times I was telling Cruz earlier, the 2 times I've had issues with like my tank where I've like nuked my tank, it's always been heaters. Like I replace my heaters around Christmas every year. Like or anytime if I'm doing something. Like I was saying a couple of weeks ago, I was doing a water change, and I accidentally left like the glass heater outside for like 2 seconds out of the water. I throw it away. Like I'm not taking any chances. I throw it away. If it comes submerged for a few minutes when it was running, I throw it away. I don't take any chances with like heaters. Once it gets, when I was doing the water change with the calcium issue, one of my Eheim Jaegers. When I was pumping the water back in the tank, I forgot to unplug the heater. So it was out of water for about like 20 seconds. I wasn't sure if it was running or not. I threw it away. I'm not taking how much money do I have invested in my tank? And I'm not going to lose it over a $20 heater.
That's what I was saying to Paul earlier. It's not worth it.
Yeah.
For what a heater is, it's not worth it.
Yep, I threw it away. So anything, if I suspect, if I'm not even sure, I said, nope, I'm throwing it away. I'm not taking any chances with a $20 piece of equipment. Next thing you know, in the night when it comes on and it needs to warm the water, it explodes or something because it was exposed and was running. I'm not taking any chances with a cheap heater because because I was scared. Listen, if that happens to me, I'd be devastated because I'm scared to spend $20-$25. I lost my entire tank.
Yeah, I agree.
So
okay,
Nick,
one of my membranes got a chip in the plastic, but I don't know why that would cause an issue.
Yeah.
I don't think that would cause an issue, would it?
Maybe.
I'm gonna have to let my dog out because he farted again. It stinks.
Paul, one of my membranes is chipped. Right at the top edge. That
Maybe
would cause
water.
an issue, would it?
Wait. So remember, Paul. Remember, Nick. The water gets forced through the membrane. So if part of the membrane is chipped and water is going past it,
it's not going to go through it.
Yeah.
It's right at the top though, so.
Yeah, but it's under pressure. When it's in that thing and you screw it on properly, the membrane is under pressure and forces the water through it. So if it's chipped and a little bit of water is getting through the side, that could be the water that's not getting filtered properly.
Maybe. I'll try. I swapped it anyway, so we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
I swapped it back to the old one, so.
Tyler, you have to go.
We'll
Nick,
see
I put on the T5s a couple days ago.
All right.
I love it so far.
Yeah. Everyone's going to be changing their LEDs back to T5s and highlights. You watch.
Hybrid. Well, I'm using the two Kessels and the T5.
Exactly.
Well,
that's what I think people are going to be doing.
Dave said defective membrane. So yes, Dave, I remember you said that. Hey,
you might be right, Dave.
Bulk Reef Supply tested a fixture on Friday, Orphic Atlantic, and so far they said it has the best spectrum. Like this, they tested it. They said the spectrum looks like it's better than a T5 bulb. It's wider spectrum than T5s, and the spread. It's just that you have to hang it high, and because it's like a line of LEDs, like the blending isn't as good as maybe a Kessel. But I think Ryan said like if he had to do a tank now, it would be the LED he would choose.
I used to be the UK agent for Orphic. So I brought those to the UK. Just like the Kessels, but they're quite nice lights.
Yeah.
Now my TDS has gone up again.
It would 13 now. It would because you put a fresh one in.
I haven't. I put the old one back in.
That's dirty, you know.
Yeah, but it's like higher than the one that I took out that had the damage to it.
I don't know.
So the damage is right at the
surface,
right at the top.
Did you check the surface on the inside of the where the thing goes into to see if that chip is caused by some piece of?
No, it was.
I don't know.
Damaged. It was damaged before I put it in, Asa.
Okay.
I think I stood on it and tore the top of it when I was climbing up onto my IBC.
Well, you want to check the inside wall to see if it's scored.
No, because all the membranes that I've taken out are fine. It's just where I stood on it when I was climbing up on the IBC, where my RO was. So I've damaged it myself. Oh, it's gone down to 10 now, which is where it was before. That's freaking weird. That's so weird because all I've changed is the RODI.
Listen to Dave, because Dave said you've got a knackered membrane at the start. We're going to go through all this. And the second one, he said you need to let it run again. So leave it running again.
Yeah.
Listen to Dave. Dave knows.
I'm going to be ringing Sam tomorrow and asking him to send me a whole new filter set.
Wait, Sam?
No, Sam at... It's gone down to 9 now.
Aaron's Aquarium was in the chat.
Who?
Aaron.
We don't know who he is anymore.
Not Aaron, it's Aaron.
Oh, David said, let's ask Narcosis. Oh, wait. Did Aaron meet Narcosis? Man, I wanted to be in that. I wanted to be there when the two of them met.
That Aaron Aquarium's is just a reef jockey.
I would have loved to be a fly on the wall with that meeting. That would have been cool. Come on, Aaron. Come in and tell us how was that meeting with Narcosis and Rico and some of the other guys.
Did you ask him where his nitrates was?
Oh, man.
Hey, Narcosis, did you find them yet? Your nitrates?
Oh, man. I didn't even start drinking yet. Hey, guys.
Hey, how is everyone?
Who are you?
Hi, Michael.
Oh, it's gone down to 7.
Hey,
My
Michael.
TDS is fucked up. Have you had fun?
Yeah, it's been good.
Wait, he's on his way back.
It's been good. It's been good to see everybody, chat to everybody and things like that. It's been good.
Cool.
Just sat in the car now.
Michael.
Just on our way. What?
Do you know that shortcake?
To Max?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, he's wearing a Brooklyn, New York shirt. Whoop whoop.
Well, go on. What about the shortcake?
It's dead.
Dead.
Yeah.
He had a heater explode in his sump.
Yeah.
And it wiped out his
loads of
tank.
SPS.
No way. What's Mark said?
You don't care.
You don't care?
You can get another one, can't you?
Oh, I need to know what's going on. Yeah, we're just about to leave Chicago now. 18 hours and 30 minutes drive to get back to Boston. And then when we get to Boston, I'm going to be flying out from Boston, so I'm going to be traveling forever.
Wow.
So it's going to be fun. It's been good though. It's been worth it. We've got to meet loads and loads of people, loads of great people. So it's been really good. I
seen your name dropping me to Joy at Reef, right?
Yeah, of course I did.
Oh, you know Nick Chan. I'm his good friend.
What was I saying then?
You're saying that you got to meet loads of people.
It's the only time you got your name dropped, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I knew the reaction that I get. So I thought, it's not sack Nick. It was good to meet everybody, though. It was good to see, Rico and Alex and Tim. Tim's truck is amazing, and Rico's truck, both amazing.
Wow.
And then who else? A guy called Kurt. I think it's called Kurt Scoville. He drove up and he brought me loads of bags of Cheetos, Oreos, flipping the Tell you, what are you doing?
He knows you then.
He knows me. Yeah, gave me a big bag of stuff, all sorts of stuff. So, yeah, it was really, really good. Got to experience a bit of the American life. So it's been fun.
Nice.
Don't want to go home.
There you go. Widen your horizons.
Yeah, got to speak to a good few companies as well. So there's some nice new companies which hopefully I'll be able to get in the UK.
Cool.
Bring over stuff like that. So yeah, all good in the hood.
Good stuff. Oh, but did you say anything new? Anything new that you can tell us about that was there? Was it all just the same old stuff?
No, nothing new. Nothing that I thought was new.
Yeah.
What's the time?
15 hours? 7 minutes?
Have you got 15 and I got 18?
You're going the wrong way.
Clearly. Is it your hotspot?
I don't know.
So who was the grumpiest out of the two, Greg or Mike?
Me. To be honest.
All I kept hearing was
like,
his grumpy Mike and his grumpy Greg.
So we got grumpy Mike and Uncle Greg.
Oh, Uncle Greg.
Uncle Greg. But no, Mike. When we set off, Mike was like, trailer's lock. Yeah. Mike was like, oh, I don't want to go, blah blah blah. I just want to stay at home and all this lot. And then once people started coming to the stall and everything, he was up. Hey, how you doing? Hey, how you doing? He was up. He was like the ultimate salesman. He was on fire. Me and Greg were just chilling, just watching Mike do his thing. So he went from not wanting to do anything to being really, really good.
Good.
So yeah.
Nice one.
Good. Enjoyed it. So now we've got this fantastic drive. We got up at 8 o'clock this morning.
Right.
To go to the show. It's 6 o'clock here now. So we're just about to set off. So it's going to be a grueler because we've already been up for we've been up for 10 hours now.
Right.
We've got another 15 hours in front of us.
Wow.
Oh, sorry. That's the cameras. Yeah, so we've got another 15 hours in front of us, so it's going to be a grueler, but definitely been worth it. Really enjoyed it.
I spoke to Antonio for you to see if, in case Mike and Greg wanted the RFGs for the My Aquarium box in America.
Oh yeah.
So if they want to contact him.
Yeah. I'll
have a look at that.
We've not really had any chance to actually talk business, to be honest.
Yeah.
We've just been enjoying ourselves. I had a $45 steak last night.
Is it nice?
Oh my God, it was. It was even nicer when I saw Greg's face when I wanted to order it. But yeah, it was really, really nice. I also, what was that bread? What was that bread that I had? Pretzel roll. I had a pretzel roll.
Pretzel roll.
A pretzel roll. It was like, just a round bread.
Yeah.
It was like pretzel flavor. Oh my God.
Wow.
It was like, I was like, I don't need the steak. I can eat this bread all day.
Michael, get some Big Red.
Big Red?
Yeah.
What is it?
A drink. Beautiful.
A drink called Big Red? You heard of it? No?
Big Red is a gum.
No, these two don't know anything about it.
It's definitely a drink. I get it when I'm over there. Beautiful.
Yeah, I've had, to be honest, I've probably eaten less while I've been here than I do at home. Because
That's not possible.
Literally just been, no, honestly, we've just been having our proper meals, like breakfast, lunch, dinner. That's it. That's all I've had. Not really been pigging out or anything. And then even the meals, saying that when we went Buffalo Wild Wings, we got a lot of wings. We got a lot of chicken wings, but other than that, yeah, it was cool. We're not done too bad. Not really got super giddy when it comes to the food, but everything that I've had's been nice. I even got introduced to a breakfast biscuit while I've been
Breakfast biscuit.
What would you say a breakfast biscuit is, Nick?
Biscuit with bacon and sausage on it.
A what?
A biscuit with bacon, sausage, egg, and beans.
That's what I mean. You'd think it was like a hobnob or something, wouldn't you? With egg and thing. No, it's like the only way I can explain it, it was sort of like a scone shape. It wasn't. It didn't taste like a scone, but it was like a scone shape, which was it was clearly like flour and butter and stuff like that. Like a dumpling, like a fried dumpling. There you go. That's what it was like a fried dumpling. Was it not fried? Was it grilled? Baked, I think. Oh, baked. Yeah, so it was probably like a baked dumpling or something like that. It was only small. Like a McDonald's breakfast burger.
Yeah.
Just a small round thing like that. But the calories, oh my God. It was like one little burger and a few little hash browns, but I'm talking 10p size. And it was 1,200 calories.
Wow.
It was crazy. I've had heartburn since I landed. I've been eating antacid flipping tablets going out of fashion.
AL said he wonders if you've tried the English muffin.
The American English muffin.
Yeah, it's not English. There's nothing English about it. There weren't a BAP or something, anything like that. But yeah, Mike's had English muffins for his breakfast. Just English muffins and butter.
We have Reese's over here, Bubba.
What's that?
The peanut butter. Bubba said you need to try the Reese's peanut butter cups, but we have them over here too.
Yeah, we've got Reese's peanut butter cups at home. I'm not having anything that I can get at home. I'm only having stuff that I can't get at home. See you later.
Hey, you can't get crystal meth over here. Try some that.
I've seen a few people that look like they sampled the delights of crystal meth today. It's been good.
Watch what you say on the chat.
No, it's been good. It's been enjoyable.
Good.
It's been good to meet everybody. Like I said, seeing all there's loads of YouTubers there. I met today. Do you know George, Coralfish 12G?
Oh yeah.
I met George today. I met Pectech. Pectech's another YouTuber.
Pectech, I'd like to meet. He sounds like fun.
Pectech is like...
Yeah, he seems really fun, that guy.
He's a bit of a YouTube idol of mine, because I've watched him since I started on YouTube. And I like the way that he edits his videos and stuff and makes his videos. So I've actually been staying with him all week. He's been staying at our house, and the guy he's absolutely hilarious. The guy is as cool as you would imagine, if not cooler.
Oh, nice.
Honestly, yeah, he was definitely wasn't a letdown anyway. He was proper funny, really on his game. Just a proper nice guy, smart guy. He was a really nice person to meet. Who else?
Did you have a good chat with Mike Platter?
Yeah, I met Mike Paletta as well.
Nice.
We were supposed to be going out for something to eat with him and Cruz, but by the time that Mike finished his talk and everything, we were tired, so we didn't end up going. So I met Cruz as well, obviously.
Yeah.
So I didn't end up going out for something to eat with him, but
Did you get to go to his store or no?
Cruz? No, I didn't have time.
Didn't get time.
I didn't get time to do anything. I've not even seen downtown Chicago.
Right.
Just so it was really, really busy. It was like if either one of us wanted to go off and film the place, it was sort of like only one at a time, because me and Greg went away together once, and Mike was texting us because he was just swamped with people. It was busy on our stand, really, really busy.
Right.
And because we was getting Mike Paletta was coming over to the stand, Cruz, everybody else. It was just like a proper little hub.
Yeah.
At some point, so it was just busy.
Oh, that's good.
It was good. Really.
Did you get loads of new subscribers to the box for the American guys?
I think so. We've not actually checked on the subscriptions, but we did. Obviously we met a lot of people, spoke to a lot of people. Sold a lot of stuff as well while we was there, because we took a load of driftwood and cherry wood and all of our micro inbox foods and stuff. So we sold a lot of that. We did well on that side. We got a lot of people, enter into. We was running a competition while we was there. We got loads of people entering into that. So yeah, it was good. It was really busy, really busy.
Good.
Obviously, I went to Aqua for dinner a couple of weeks ago. The venue was about the same size, so it didn't have that split in the middle like Aqua does. It was just one big open room.
One big hall. Did you say it was about the same size?
About the same size as Aqua.
All right. For fuck's sake, mate. Fucking my RODI. It's like, I've got 0 TDS now. Bullshit.
Rammed. It was rammed out with people. Oh, every single time that I say something, these two are picking up on it because they're words that they just don't know.
Rammed.
So one of the highlights has been the fact that we've got Poundland.
Right.
Look, you see, Greg's laughing now.
Poundland.
Is
he thinking of like the weight?
No, he's thinking more like, getting pounded.
Or pounding.
It's like jail. It's like, exactly, jail. Poundland. So I love those lights on the back of those. Is that a Dodge? Yeah.
Oh man.
So yeah, it's been good. It's been really good.
Good. You sort them.
It's 12:20. It's 12:20 in the UK now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I met Narcosis as well.
Yeah. Did you find his nitrates for him?
He's a tall dude, you know.
Yeah. Did you find his nitrates for him?
I met his.
Did you even say that to him?
No, I didn't.
Just done.
I met his little kid, his little boy, and his little boy was like, he wanted to go home, and he did this face, and he just looked up at me and went, I want to go home, and I was like, oh, because I was saying to Narcosis, you know, stay till the end of the day, we'll go out, you know, we'll get something to eat. And his little boy just looked at me with his cutest face ever and said, I just want to go home, and I was like, oh, you got to take him home.
That's funny.
Yeah, to meet Narcosis as well, he was cool.
Good. So we're going to New York Mackinac next year then? Or are we just going to do the Florida one?
This show that we've just left now, Aquatic Experience, isn't going to be here next year.
They decided to cancel it?
No, they're going to New Jersey, New York, same venue as Reeferpalooza. So they're going to be going to there next year. So we might be going back there again next year. It just depends. Once we've run the numbers of how
whether it's worth doing.
Yeah, how this show's gone. Once we've run the numbers and everything, and then we're going to look at potentially doing Reeferpalooza New York and Aquatic Experience.
Right.
So
I want to see if I can get to the New York one for sure.
Yeah, so hopefully Reeferpalooza New York will be the one that we were looking at. But again, once we've run the numbers and things, we'll see. But it's been fun. It's been a lot of fun, and I'm a bit gutted now that I'm on my way home. But at the same time, I can't wait to get home and just see the family and just kick back on my own sofa and in my own bed.
Oh, it's good. Glad you had fun, buddy.
Yeah, it's been good. It's been good.
Oh, man. Oh.
So I'm going to bounce because we're on the road now, and we just need to make sure we know where we're going. So I'm going to shoot.
No worries.
All right.
All right, pal. See you when you get back.
See you later, mate. Bye-bye. Later.
Oh, man. I don't get this. My inline TDS is now saying 0, and my pen is still saying 8 or 9.
Where is your? Where's the out coming out on your TDS?
From the last. It's literally in the hose as it's coming out the iPod, so it's on the outlet. It's not in between anything else. I don't know whether my pen's just contaminated, so I'm going to give it a rinse.
Right, I'm just going to put something to bed here. Right. It's my live stream. They're called Twizzlers.
Something to bed? What are you on about? What's in the text? I'm not looking at the text.
Well, do you know Twizzlers?
Yeah.
Deathmage calls them something else.
Oh, all right. Hey, Deathmage. Sorry, I didn't know you were in the text. So I've got my phone in my pocket. Called Twizzlers.
Twizzlers. Use a Twizzler and drink a can of Big Red with it. Beautiful.
Oh my god, the TDS of my tank is like 700 and something. I know somebody did that before. They went, "Is the TDS? I've heard the TDS is supposed to be 0." And someone said, "Yeah." I said, "Well, my tank, the TDS is like 800 and something." And I went, "What?"
Oh, she said she doesn't call Twizzlers something else. So let me see what we were saying. Red vines. What's a red vine then?
Red vine? No idea.
Yeah, what's a red vine? Come on, Mage, what's a red vine? are two different candies. What are they the same kind of thing, but is it like the same thing but different brand?
It's like the same thing but different.
Like Dave saying, red vine is something for Twizzlers.
Oh man, I really don't want to be here now.
James winding major.
I haven't got circulation in my tank anymore.
You've got no what circulation?
No, because you've got my giant.
I was going to say that. I have.
Yeah, you've got mine.
What
I'm going to put my. I'm just running off the return.
Really?
Yeah.
Why have you done that?
Because you've got my giant.
No, but why did you give me a giant?
Because you needed it.
Yeah, well, usually you need one in a tank.
No. Who's told you that rubbish? No, I'm going to put one on in a bit. Ah, I don't get it. Why is this still... My pen's reading 9. And my inline is reading 0. I feel like giving up. Stupid thing.
It looks like I'm going to have to run for a little while. I'll check back later.
Yeah.
No worries, Asa.
Again, cheers again,
Take it easy.
Yep.
See you later.
Oh, man. Right, I'm just going to let it run and run and run.
Yeah.
Let's see if it clears out. I've ended up putting the damaged membrane back in because where it was damaged was right at the top of the membrane, so it shouldn't have affected it. You know where the blue, right at the top. It was just a little tear where, but it was past the washer, so it shouldn't have affected it.
I don't know.
Oh, it didn't seem like it was.
Forget it and do it tomorrow when you've got some.
But it's like this, like my inline TDS is measuring 0 now, but my pen is still measuring like 8.
Your pen might have been knackered.
Maybe, but the inline is definitely reading 0 now. So maybe it was maybe it was the de-irising that needed to flush through.
The banned straws where Phil lives.
Weird. That's weird. That's so weird. That's just so weird. It's like I said to you before, when I've changed my filters out, I've always got 0.
Say that again, Nick.
So, like I said before, whenever I've changed my membranes and everything out before, I've always got 0.
Yeah.
That's why I was saying I don't understand why I'm getting a reading of 10 and all of that. So I think it was just a case of having to flush it through long enough. I think the DI resins is a different one to I've used before, so it might have been that. Maybe it's a bit more contaminated than what I've used before, I don't know. Or maybe it just took a little bit longer to activate. Who knows?
Yeah. I was going to say, Phil, if they've banned straws, what do they do at McDonald's? When you ask for a drink, a milkshake.
Give you a spoon.
How do you drink your milkshake?
Give you a spoon.
Yeah, what the kids going to do with the spitballs, like Dave said. Over here, they've stocked plastic bags. You've got to pay for every plastic. They used to give them you free in supermarkets. Now you've got to pay for them all. But the money goes to charity. But like one of the largest ones over at Tesco's, they've stopped doing them ones now and just charge you 10 pence a bag.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they stopped the normal ones and they just charge you 10p a bag now.
10p a bag? What, for the thicker ones?
Yeah, but the ones, I've got one here.
So all the thin ones, they don't make any more at all?
Bag for life, no, bag for life, but you can take them back.
Right. I guess it makes sense, because why should they still produce them? They might as well just produce the ones that last longer. and then not have to keep in stock so many.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying that, Mage. Here, if you used to do your shopping, all the bags used to be free. So you used to be able to get bags and just bag your stuff, shopping and go home. Then the government brought something in saying that they're not allowed to give free ones away anymore. You have to pay for them.
You know what? They started that in Wales first.
Yeah, they did it in Wales first, yeah.
Yeah, because I remember one time I was doing a delivery in Millhaven in Wales, on the coast of Wales. And I went in for something and they said, do you want a bag? And I said, oh, yes, please. And they said, it's 5p. I went, really? And they went, yeah. I said, how can you charge? And they goes, yeah, that's what we do in Wales. So, oh, okay. I think it's a good idea, personally. Because, like, even me now, whereas before I might have used a bag. I don't now. Because you used the bag because you could. So yeah. I kind of get it. You know, a lot of times you don't actually need one, but you just use one for convenience. But if you have to pay for it, it kind of makes you go, oh, no, I'll just not have it then. So yeah, it does work.
Yeah. Mage, do they give the money to charity when you buy a bag? No, they don't do paper bags over here.
Oh, that's right. In America, they do the paper grocery bags, right? The big brown ones.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. The bags, the money goes to charity when you buy a bag over here. So.
Oh, I've lost a load of SPS in this tank. Stupid RO unit. What coral should I put in this tank for?
All that nice shit you've got.
I've lost some of it through my TDS.
What was that noise then?
No, it's me cleaning the top of my tank.
Right.
So when I was ill and I wasn't paying attention to my TDS and my RO.
I'm going to go to bed in a minute. I'm absolutely balls.
Yeah.
I'm over. 2 days on the trot.
Self-inflicted.
Yeah. Jägermeister's nice.
You know what? I hardly ever drink.
I'm like that, but when I pop, I can't stop. Dave, tree huggers ate plastic bags. Who went and got themselves an iPhone 10? A mug.
I was looking at them, to be honest.
No way I'd get the iPhone 10. Do you know the bloke that created Apple with Steve Jobs? He said that he's not going to get it. He said because the iPhone 10 is like the iPhone 8, which
Steve
is
Jobs
like
is dead.
7. No, the bloke that created Apple with Steve Jobs.
Oh, right, I was going to say.
Yeah, I can't remember his name. Right, but he said he's not getting the iPhone 10 because it's like the iPhone 8, which is like the iPhone 7, which is like the iPhone 6, which is like the iPhone 5. That's what he said.
Yeah, but it's like they just put little things on it that's different, don't they? That's all they do. Like the face recognition, you know.
It's a terrible phone. It's been said it's a terrible phone. And the
all I'm
screen's
bothered about is if I can have a fast processor so that stuff doesn't get glitchy.
Get an iPhone 6 up. An iPhone 7 or 8.
And then a good camera.
Samsung. Get an S7
and a good camera.
or 8.
Well, I've got the S6 Edge, but it's knackered now.
Right, but the S6 has got a better camera than the S7 and S8.
Is it?
And it's got a better camera than all the iPhones.
Well, but it's so glitchy now, and all my screen's cracked and everything. So you're saying I shouldn't even change my phone?
No. If you want a decent camera, no.
No. But how good does a camera need to be? That's the thing. Isn't it?
I've got the S7, and I just upgraded the SIM. I just kept the phone and upgraded the SIM. Like the missus, she's got the 6. She's got like the chip on, and now my daughter, saying that my daughter's got the iPhone 7.
Right.
But she's like that. She's an Apple person. She's got the MacBook. Yeah.
Well, I've got the MacBook and I've got my iPad. That's another reason I was thinking of going back to Apple. Just that, because the thing I liked about my Apple was that I could take a picture on my phone, and then I could open up my iPad, and the picture was already on my iPad. I wouldn't need to move it across over to it.
Hmm.
Do you know what I mean? So if I took a picture on my tank with my phone, then straight away I could share onto. I could like leave it and then get home, and then it'd be on my iPad if I was on Facebook and stuff to share it. So it's just convenient. I know it's like you can move stuff across, but it's just the convenience of not having to.
Yeah.
And that's another reason I was thinking, oh, everything works together. But yeah, I don't know. I'll wait and see. I'm not in a big rush.
Phil's just ordered his last 5 fish. What fish have you got, Phil?
Did you like that Hawaiian wrasse we saw today, Paul?
I did, yeah. Nice.
That was cool, wasn't it?
Yeah. I've seen them before in Cockfields.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are
a little
nice,
bit different, isn't it?
I love my wrasse.
Yeah.
You can't beat an Apple computer. AL, I cannot stand MacBooks. Absolutely do like.
No, I like them. Must admit, I do like the Apple laptops.
Yeah, Phil. Oh, I used to have a Costco.
A Costco.
Yeah, and it.
Costco.
Yeah, and it jumped at my tank. I found it behind the back of it.
Oh.
Flame Angel. Keep Uri Flame Angel. The band now.
And from fishing.
In fact, I had a virus on a MacBook, and you're not supposed to. Like, you don't very rarely get viruses in on all that.
No, you don't.
Mark Ebb come around the side out for a little bit.
Oh, did he? I was going to say, you don't often get that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to put some pods in for my fish.
Vicky can't see the stream. Yeah, Vicky, you got to keep rebooting it and trying. It's something to do with Google.
Oh, yeah. I did it about 30 times, really.
That's it. I'm going to be going off this soon anyway. So if Dave wants to come on and be the boss of it, he can crack on and do that.
Do you always put your copepods in the fridge?
Yeah, I do if I'm not using them that day, yeah.
You should have come and I should have brought some of these for you. I got about 30 bags.
Oh, you should have done it all. I could do some.
Forgot. Sorry. Forgot I had them. They're in the box still on my desk. I'm just going to put some in now for these fish. Completely forgot I had them.
Yeah, stay in there. That's an old myth no longer. When Apple wasn't popular, why make viruses for them? Now they're popular, there's tons of viruses and that's all. What viruses? It used to be. It was a certain file. Was it the System 32 file where they used to do it? You've lost the link. Hang on, Dave. It is. That's not it. 1 minute.
These BC UK copepods are so good.
Yeah.
Loads in a bag. I just put like 3 bags in and my tank's just like teeming with pods now. My mandarin's gonna go mad in a minute.
How you doing?
How you doing? I'm reporting for work.
I'm going to give Dave controls now because I'll either fall asleep or just end up going away like I usually do.
I won't be on too long. But yeah, I'll hold it down for a little bit. Got to get up early.
So as soon as the missus is watching a program on TV, so.
Oh, Vicky got in. She followed whatever Roke told her to do.
At least we know now.
She can see the stream now. So, hi, Vicky.
Hey, Vicky.
That's Mage built her own desktop. There you go. That's how you do it.
Wow.
Motherboard.
Yeah, I used to build them all the time. You know, like gaming PCs.
Is it like liquid cooled and stuff for gaming?
Oh, I built a liquid one.
Yeah.
I used to do it.
So I've never done anything like that.
Yeah. I used to do it all the time. I used to go buy all the top of the range stuff.
I don't game or do anything that requires all that. I do like the looks of them. Some of them come out really cool, but I have no need for a high-end computer, you know. Me personally.
I used to do it for processing more. You know, like them gaming. I've never been into gaming. I like Pac-Man, as people know.
Pac-Man.
Best games ever. You can't knock games like Pac-Man or Space Invaders.
You mean the old 80s arcade type stuff? Asteroids.
Yeah, that's me.
Defender.
Get me the old Nokia 3310 and get me on that worm. You know, Snake.
Oh yeah, Snake.
That's me. Happy.
I saw a really nice computer. Is it an Alien? I think something.
Alienware.
Alienware, yeah.
Yeah, a friend of mine's kid had it. And it's pretty impressive looking. It was even cool to look at, you know?
Yeah, all like illuminated keyboard and stuff.
Yeah. Well, even the chassis of it was see-through and you could see what was going on inside.
Oh, nice.
It kind of looked like a capacitor.
See, this is how you put your corals, right? So you get specimen tubs like this, right? So you get specimen tubs. You put your frag on a bit of sponge or a bit of material. So you put your frag on that, fill your specimen tub up with water, put your frag upside down in it like that.
Gotcha.
And put your lid on. Yeah. So you've got your frag in there, and you can track. Look, how's that for shipping?
That's how they do it. That's how we do it over here. You didn't make that up.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that, but over here they don't. They do now.
But some places even do that and then put it in a bag and seal the bag, you know, for each one.
That's good then, isn't it?
Yeah. Mm.
But this is a little, I like this.
Yeah. I think Fisher Hex does it that way too.
I've done all them frag plugs, them phantom frag plugs, Nick.
Have you done them?
Yep.
Oh, you want to show them to us?
Oh, I can't now because it's dark.
All right.
But I've tried a few different ways. I've done it with like glue, the resin stuff, but the glue's the best one to do it.
How did you find using them? All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good.
So we'll see tomorrow, see which ones have held. So I think the more complicated, the way that they're concaved.
Yeah.
You know, to get the resin on them from because it's concaved, you push it in, and it just falls out. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah.
But with glue, it's better with glue. Milliput will work because Milliput sets the light thing anyway, but
yeah.
But glue's the best. So.
All right.
Yeah.
Have you used them all, or you still got some for Mark?
No, I give Mark 20. And
you've already given him some?
No, there are.
All right, you're going to give him some, you mean?
Yeah, there was 31 in it. So I thought, well, I'll have 11, he can have 20.
Right. Yeah, that's fine.
Deathmage's going to stream again? Kill some Nazis? That game looked crazy. There was so much storyline in it. You know, when I tuned in, I was watching them play that game. Like a whole little movie you get to watch.
Oh, is it like a war game?
I don't know. I didn't see anything. It was like a soldier walking around, but he kept walking in on the scene.
Oh man.
Yeah, well, if she streams it and you're up, definitely check it out. I mean, it's cool. She plays a lot of cool games.
Oh.
You got a good setup, you know.
I've got to mute my dog's drinking water again.
She said, "Yeah, it's a war against the Nazis."
Oh, okay. Was it like Call of Duty or something like that?
I don't know. I didn't see any real action when I just tuned in a few times. I have trouble watching games. It reminds me when my son was young and it was like, "Can I watch TV, please?" Adult Hitler be in the chat. Oh, Adolf Hitler. Okay,
Where's
stop.
Steve tonight? He texts me every night to do a live stream when I'm in bed. And the night that I'm up,
Yeah, where is Steve?
I don't know. I don't know.
Steve's
He'll text me at 1 o'clock then.
Steve's commenting on my videos like he's an English guy.
Oh, you're right, lad.
He's got all the lingo down.
Yeah.
I think he's practicing. He's going to show up at your door one.
Yeah,
You're going to sneak over to the UK.
He texts me, live stream, lad.
Proper colors, mate, or something he wrote on mine.
Yeah. Yeah, we're from Manchester. We call everyone mate.
Yeah.
I liked mates.
It was funny watching Michael. He got out of the car and he was like, "Look, a proper school bus. Look, a squirrel. You guys don't have squirrels?"
Yeah, we have squirrels. Well, maybe not where he's from.
Okay, because he was really, everything was, I guess it'd be the same as me going over there and seeing different stuff, but it was.
Yeah.
Thing is with squirrels over here, if you catch a grey one, it's illegal to let it go. You got to kill it.
Who said that?
Oh, really?
No, it's true. You're not allowed. Do you know when they catch them here, Nick?
Yeah.
They actually euthanize them.
Really?
Yeah, because they're a pest, aren't they?
Well, they are. Yeah, they killed all the red ones, didn't they?
Yeah, they killed all ours. The grey ones are American.
Yeah, they killed all the red ones.
And they killed all our ones over here.
That's being prejudiced, bro.
What part of the UK did they call each other governor? Governor.
London.
That'll be London.
Governor. Proper Cockney. All right, governor.
What, mate?
My sister has a black squirrel in her yard, which is odd to see here.
Black squirrel? Wow, never heard of one.
Yeah, black.
Yeah, we don't have no red ones here, Vicky. They're all grey rodents.
Yeah, I get pesty. Everybody cuts pumpkins up, puts the jack-o'-lanterns out. The squirrels get in here and eat them.
Wow.
Why was that blocked? Why was Craig's Gov blocked? Is that something bad?
I don't know, no. Royal, whereabouts are you from? Is he from London? He's from
Craig.
South.
It's Craig Smith. He said earlier.
I think it's from London.
So he's been in here before as Craig Smith. It's just a new channel name, I guess. Right, Ark Royal? Or am I...
No, I know
you're right.
rodents, man.
Yeah, you're right.
But the horrible ones, yeah, the horrible ones. Some rodents are nice, them ones are just horrible.
Well, it's like New York City. We got pigeons. They don't even get out of the way if you're walking down the street.
Yeah, they don't over here. The well-armed pigeons. They want to fight you.
Trusting they are.
Yeah, pigeons in New York walking around going, "You talking to me?"
Yeah.
You talking to me?
No, that like
Oh.
they own the place you're visiting. That's their home.
He's a proper Cockney. Oh, mate.
All right, mate.
Oh, mate.
London Hackney.
Proper Cockney. Cockney. He does all the Cockney slang. Scabby blister, sister. Apples and pears. Pears.
Bitches will poop on your head. They'll land on your head too. You get tired of flying. They're almost a nuisance. And if you're eating something, they're by your feet, like waiting for you to drop some of it. They're really fearless. Seagulls on the beach. We always get some idiot who comes and thinks they can feed them. They'll start throwing potato chips in the air, and then there's 400 seagulls like swarming. You know,
shitting on them.
They go nuts over the food. They start like you get blood on you. They're like fighting in the air.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you always get some new Benny at the beach. We call them Bennies.
Betty.
And that actually comes from all the train stations that people would get on to come to the beach. Benny's is the acronym of all the towns.
Ah, okay. I was thinking it sounded like what was that soap opera thing, Paul? Was it called Crossroads, where there used to be that Benny? I'm going back some years now.
I don't know.
Yeah, we used to have a soap opera called Crossroads, and there was a character on there called Benny.
Yeah, it was like Bayonne, Elizabeth, Newark. People that didn't live at the beach. The people who live at the beach, everybody else is an intruder. It was a pigeon mage. We had my girlfriend's niece came, and she lives in the country, and her father hunts turkeys. So we were on the beach. We were on the beach, and the pigeons came, and she said, "Look, turkey." And then we're driving in the car, and we said, "Look, deer." And she looked up in the tree, because where she's from, when they catch the deer, they hang them in a tree to bleed them out or whatever.
Oh, right. Wow.
So they're looking in the tree for the deer. I was like, no, just walking on the lawn over there.
Well, they're like, they're not dead already?
Pelicans eat anything that go in the mouth, that fit in the mouth, mage. I've seen that video of that pelican eating another bird.
Oh, yeah. I guess they're not reef safe, huh? Well, fish safe.
See, we got a lot of pelicans over here. That's why we've got...
Finding Nemo, they are.
Oh, they are? Yeah. Well.
I'm Finding Nemo. I like that. Finding Nemo with the seagulls. Mine.
You got a lot of words blocked here, Paul.
Oh, because he actually put bar stewards.
Yeah. Or bastards, as we call them. Whatever you say. Do they know it's being held when they type it? Like if somebody types it, do they know it's being held for review or no?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, I think it comes up. Your message is being something reviewed.
We can swear on it, Dave, because we're admin.
That's right. Well, there was somebody on one of the streams, and they just kept swearing in. It was like, all right, I'm tired of approving this guy. It's making me work over here.
How's your bill going, Dave?
Oh, it's spinning. I am slowly transferring sand from the main display. So what I do is I take a 5-gallon bucket and about a 1/2-inch hose, and I suck out as much sand as I can get into 5 gallons of water, like siphoning. Then I pull 5 gallons out of the new tank and I swap them. So at the same time as I'm getting the sand over to the new build, I'm getting the other tank used to the water. So I'm getting the water to be stable between the two tanks.
Right.
So sometime next week, I guess I'll move in. But I got to pop all the frags off because I'm keeping the rock, moving the rock into the other tank.
You want to do a live stream while you're doing it?
No, I can't even. Just doing a plumbing video. The camera was on, then it was off, then it was. I can't concentrate on what I'm doing. Making videos. I give you a before and after and a little in between. That's about it.
Finish, Cal. Right, I'm going to bed.
I figure I'll put a big frag rack in the 50. Roll frag with the rocks.
Yeah.
Oh, I got some new carbon.
Right, yeah. Dave, you've got the controls.
Okay.
I'm off.
You're off?
Yep.
Leave me all alone?
I'm not. I'm not.
All by myself.
You've got Nick.
Oh, Nick's not going anywhere yet? Okay, cool.
Not for a little while, but I will be soon, but not yet.
Yeah, I got like a 4:30 a.m. wake up, so.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Right, I'll leave you to it then. Right,
good night, Paul.
Night.
See you later, buddy.
Working in Manhattan, we try and sneak in early before the traffic.
I don't blame you. I like to do that as well. In the UK, if I can. I'm being so bad. I just found a gyre that I didn't clean last time I took it out, so I just found another box with a new one in, so I just pulled the new one out, so I don't have to clean this one. How lazy is that?
Nice to have parts laying around.
Well, I got stock of equipment for installs and that here, and then I sometimes like with that that MaxSpec duo pump. Sometimes I think, oh, I'll stick it on a tank and try it out. But
that's right. You got to put a test on them.
Yeah, because like if I do an install, I need to know what the kit does, right? Like
sure
somebody's asking me for advice, like what pump should I use, and if I haven't used it, I can't give them my opinion on it. But then it's like when I use it, it's secondhand, so I can't sell it as new. Or I can just tell them, oh, I just tested it to make sure it was working for you.
Yeah, it's all built up with purple Coraline on it.
Yeah, and I just took that new edge off it for you. You don't want it looking too new.
Too noisy when they first come out of the box, so.
Yeah, I had to run it in for you. Paul says I gave him my 130, which is why I'm putting this 230. Is it a 230 on this one? And he said it was noisy because he cleaned it. I said, well, it wasn't that noisy when I had it. But then I never cleaned it, so.
There's that fine line of when they're noisy and then when they're clean, and just that couple weeks later they seem to break in nice, I think.
Yeah, I think because I think he might have used vinegar and stuff. I don't know, so he might have cleaned it a little bit too much, maybe. I'm not sure.
Yeah, Seymour just gave me smaller Jabo return pumps, and
all right,
he cleaned it out really nice. It works pretty good.
Yeah, I like them.
Got about a 4 feet of head pressure, and it's still pushing a lot of water.
Oh, wow.
I think it was only rated around 800 gallons per hour, but doing all right. I don't think I'm studying 800 now, so I'm not even sure I pushed the two random flow generators with it, but I'll find out.
Right.
If not, we'll go bigger.
How are you finding the random flow generators? Are they okay?
Oh, I loved it in my nano tank.
Yeah.
I'm not working as well. Split them on the bigger tank, but I think it's has to do with flow.
You probably need a bigger pump.
Yeah.
Because
I was going to get.
You need some flow. Those things.
Yeah, that was it. When I just had one on the nano cube, And I think that was like a 300 gallon per hour pump on one with no head pressure, you know, because it's an all in one.
Yeah.
That thing was great. You could actually see the difference, and it was making the coral sway back and forth.
Right. And is it you're not sort of getting that same effect now?
No, because I got him split off. I'm running a 3/4 inch pipe up. I teed it off and then stepped it down right by the nozzles to 1/2 inch.
Right.
I'm not seeing as much difference. Even, you know, when a bubble scrub is when you notice it the most.
Yeah, I think you might need to get a bigger pump.
Yeah, that's what I'll do. But as for now, it's just spinning the tank. It's doing well. There's a what's a J-Bo, the other J-Cog or whatever the other brand name is.
J-Cod? Yeah.
Yeah, J-Cod. I think it's a 1500 that Billy Pipes is using. And he says he's
Oh,
got
yeah, that's a
1500.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, he says he's
That
got
should
it
do
on
it.
like 2 and it's plenty. So on his 75, so pretty much the same plumbing I'm using.
Yeah, that should work.
Yeah, definitely. I'd rather have more than less, right?
Yeah,
Especially
why not? You can turn it down anyway, right? So
if you can turn it down, and then if you start to put a manifold on and you need, you know, I have one little pipe just stirring my refugium off of it.
Right.
Manifolded off of it. Instead of adding another power head, why not if you got it?
I think that's probably one of my favorite things about the newer stuff is that because everything's becoming controllable, you can, you know, you don't have to get everything exactly right. You can go a little bit higher because you can control it down.
Yeah, Doc wants to know if he can put an RFG on the end of his canister return. And I guess it depends how many gallons per hour you're pushing.
Yeah, you could. I mean, you could just either put a 1/2 inch one and get a slip fit adapter to suit.
Yeah, well, there you go. Nick can help you get it set up.
Yeah.
As long as you have enough gallons per hour. I mean, you know, the 1/2 inch one worked really good with 300. And like you said, Nick, I went to the page and they do have a pretty good layout of what's the minimum pressure for each and everything. It's like 100 liters an hour. So yeah, that breaks down to what, 250?
Yeah.
That should be right.
So I'm getting asked that question myself now. Is like, which one do I get for this tank? And it's like, well, it all depends on what pump you want to run on it.
Right. And Doc, is the pump in the tank or is it down in the canister? Because that would make a difference in head pressure. So you might not be getting 1,000 liters an hour. And exclusive, Paul went to bed, but it's not looking good. I'm awful. Have a great night. Good night. Good night, Vicky. All right, exclusive has a question. I have Metro at home. I don't know what that means. But question, can I keep my Marine Pure in my tank with some rock I have in there? I mean, Marine Pure block, I think he has. And you want to keep it live rock? As long as you got flow and movement in there, sure. All external, Dave. Yeah, so if it's not pushing that would be a minimum, I would think, 1,000 liters an hour. You may have to up the pump on it a little bit. I don't even know if that's doable. I have one of those cobalt canisters, which I use for polishing the water. And then you can put just about any power head you want on it because it's really just a box with trays in it. Read up to Want to just come in and talk exclusive so I don't have to read? One of his clowns has white stringy poop. Sorry. My condolences. I don't know. I've never heard of that. What are you feeding them? I guess would be the first question. Yeah, I'm going to drop a link because I just looked up wherever you said to look up, and I don't really see anything more to go on. I'm sure Nick could help you out. I don't know though. He can't even get his RO unit to work tonight.
No. now my gyres are squealing for some reason. I don't know why.
Well, he's even got poop blocked. I had to allow him to write poop. So he's saying it's usually a parasite. Okay. Mine is attached to the pump and is on the head unit thing. So I need to get sumped up.
Oh, cool.
You may have internal parasites exclusive. That sucks. So what do you do for internal parasites?
You can use some medication like malaria tablet type stuff.
You got to get them out of the play, right?
Yeah, I don't know what you guys have got over there, but yeah, you can use some medications. Usually dewormers and stuff like that.
Is it Steen? I never know how to pronounce his name.
Steen, yeah.
Okay. He's suggesting Prozzy. Doc saying Prozzy Pro.
Hey, Dave, can you hear me?
I hear you good.
Hey, what's up, buddy?
Mute something. You got a little echo there.
I'm not sure. I'm using the speakers from the computer.
All right.
All right. So, yeah, one of my clowns today I found had some stringy white poop, and it looks like it's internal parasites. So when I was on Reef to Reef, they were saying to dose Metroplex.
Okay.
Which is an internal parasite. So it's basically like a powder that you mix with the food and you feed them that, and you got to do that for like 3 weeks. But my question is, can I leave the marine pure block in there with some live rock?
Oh, so is that medication going to ruin the bacteria in your rock in your marine pure?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to find out, because I want to use that rock to seed my other rock that I have curing in about like a week or two when I set up the main display.
Sure. Steen says I wouldn't do that.
Say that again?
Steen says I wouldn't do that.
It's because you listen to computer speakers.
I'm waiting for the echo on your speakers.
Sorry, man.
That's right. I would put up a QT tank for the fish. That's what I would do. Steen said when he used it killed his filtration.
Well, how am I going to know if it's going to kill my rocks? You know what I mean?
Thing is, I wouldn't worry about using the rocks as your seeding for your new stuff.
Just get some
ATM colony.
Well, I have ATM colony, but I was just hoping that it would speed up the process. You know what I mean? And especially, I didn't want to ruin the marine block because that's the only one I have on hand. If with the medication, because I also don't want to use this rock if it's going to be bad in a new system.
Right, is the fish in with the block?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the parasite, I don't know, could be in the block. So, would you be treating the block with the medication if it's in his food? I don't know.
Yeah, I'll show you what it looks like.
You have headphones?
Not on me, man.
Oh. I could talk and focus.
See, the thing is, the block won't really speed up the cycling anyway.
Right.
Yeah, it's Caroline. Yeah, but stringy poop doesn't mean internal parasites necessarily. Is it clear? Try feeding it some peas. See if it's constipated. And it's all just white. What type of fish was it? Yeah, I wouldn't worry about your blocks like speeding up your cycle though, because the colony will do that on its own. Yeah, I wouldn't worry about it. Yeah, I wouldn't. It's like if you're not that precious about the rock, it's not gonna. If you're thinking keeping the rock because you want it to help you with the cycle, then the colony will do that by itself. If you want the rock for some particular reason, then keep it safe. Is it a new fish?
Yeah.
And have you ever seen it poop or? Right. And was it brown before? Right. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't hurt to treat it for parasites. We do that as part of our quarantining system anyway. Yeah, you can use that. It's as good as anything.
Good luck, bud.
No worries.
Who's walking?
That's me emptying a bucket of water down the drain. Is it noisy?
I can just tell it sounded like you were walking down down the hallway or something.
Oh no.
Oh, Stian couldn't hear exclusive. Okay.
Oh, okay.
He was talking to exclusive. He's the one who has the fish with the problem. Doc says it sounds like a Pink Floyd album. Exactly what he's talking about. Something off the wall.
I'm going to see how long it takes to fill up this container. I always do that, and then I forgot what time I started the clock. I ought to use an actual like stopwatch instead of just watching my watch.
Yeah, I just bought a 32-gallon brute can. So that was nice.
Right.
It can go a few hours on the RO unit before I have to worry about it spilling.
Oh, nice.
I didn't buy the stupid wheels for it. Were like $35.
Wow.
I'll just buy a dolly at Harbor Freight.
So I've got a 1,000-liter IBC container, but it's got silt at the bottom, so it needs a good jet wash out. So I'm not using it at the moment. So I'm using 25-liter drums. But my RO is like, I think it's 250 gallons a day. So it fills them in like 15, 20 minutes. So if you forget about it and you do something, it's like, oh no.
Yeah.
So just whenever I change the membranes, I always have to time it so that I get a good gauge on what it's gonna fill now compared to what it was filling. Because obviously, as the membranes get clogged up, it takes longer.
Yeah, it slows it down. Sure.
Yeah. So what I'm used to it doing in like 25 minutes, it's like probably gonna shave 5-10 minutes off that now.
That's a good idea. Philip says he puts a float in his brute, so it shuts off if you forget about it. I've seen that before.
Yeah.
I'll have to pick one. And Doc just flooded the utility room trying to fill a 10-liter drum.
10 liters is like nothing. I'll tell you like 2 minutes.
No, I don't think he said the 1,000 liters was in 20 minutes. I think he's talking about buckets now.
Yeah, my 25-liter drums would take like 15, 20 minutes, but the 1,000 liters will take, I don't know, about 5 hours, 6 hours or something.
Really? Well.
Yeah, so it's like what, 25 liters into 1,000. How many is that?
4,000?
10,
I don't
40?
know.
40
yeah.
times. So 40 times 20 minutes.
Gotcha.
So three times 20 is an hour. So times that by 3 is 30. So that's going to be what? 3 hours?
If Jack takes Chicago and takes the bus, one will Mars eclipse the sun. Oh, he's blaming it on us.
Who?
He was on the live stream and he let his bucket overflow. It does 120 liters in 4 hours. Okay, that's depending on temperature, right? Now, I only use cold water, right? I still hook it up to the sink and go through all that. I keep it in a bucket next to the sink. I haven't even mounted it yet. I went and got a longer hose so I could run it right into the tank when I was filling the tank. So that was helpful.
Hey, Dave, did I tell you that I had white spot in my system?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I got white spot on my rabbit, fish, my fox face, and all my bannerfish. And I just left it. I didn't do anything. I just left it alone, kept them feeding, stuck some of the paradigm in, and just left them alone. And they're all spot free now.
Oh, great.
Yeah, they didn't lose anything.
I was worried because there was a white mark above my Coltang's eye, but it's the only thing. And I think he just, didn't judge his way through the rocks.
Right.
I think he just bumped his head.
That's the thing. It's like with the white spot. I think a lot of the time it's not. I don't think it's necessarily the white spot that kills them. It's the infection from the wounds that the white spot has left. I think that affects them more. more often, more and more often than people realize.
I see what Steven's saying. And he also uses cold water, but this time of year it's cold.
Ice.
That slows it down, yeah. Mine filled pretty good. My RO buddy is probably due for new cartridges. I haven't even looked into it.
This gyro is
I don't have any
screeching at me. I don't know.
As I told you what's been working for me. I know I'm getting about 4 to 5 TDS out of my RO buddy because my supply isn't that bad.
Yeah.
So because I know my town uses chloramine, I've been just putting in whatever brand I have laying around. Like every time you buy an Aquarium tank, they give you a little packet of water conditioner.
Right.
I have Blueville water conditioner I got from Wrap. So I've just been using that. And once it's all gone, I'll probably get the Fritz stuff.
Yeah, we just got Fritz into the UK.
Hello?
Yeah.
No, I haven't tried it yet, though.
Hey, Asa, how you doing?
Pretty good. How about you?
Good. I had an issue, my first issue with Fritz salt when I was filling the tank. I put too much salt in too quick, and it precipitated.
Well, you can get that with a lot of salt, so.
Yeah. But it's the first time it ever happened to me. I've never, I've had 100 gallons of water sitting there, and I started just scooping it in. And they say to put 2 cups in and wait, and put 2 cups in and wait because it heats up that area of water when it's highly concentrated.
Well, yeah, I mean, this is the thing I don't get because it's like with the ATM guys, they say the anhydrous salt, if it's got no water in it, you've got no contaminants and everything's much better. And then when I was speaking to Sean when he came to the UK about the Fritz salt, he was saying, yeah, you see, when it's really that dry and that anhydrous and you get that heat, then it's a chemical reaction that changes the composition of the salt.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, well that, it makes sense. So, but then who's right? Who's right? The ATM guys or the Fritz guys?
I think I had to add more salt to get my salinity up, if that makes any sense. I was kind of counting what I was doing, and I think because it precipitated.
Yeah.
But I checked it with the Hannah checker for the alkalinity, and I got the alkalinity right and the salt right, so I don't really care.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean,
the other thing, I put some new sand in, and I didn't rinse the sand, so that was kind of cloudy, but that was after the fact. I figure whatever cloudy in the sand, it's kind of stuff that the corals are going to need to grow anyway. So
yeah.
So will that salt that precipitated end up going back into solution?
I don't think it did. I think there's some
probably just skim it out
a couple of days. And my Chato does have a white hue to it before the sand. So I actually had Chato running in a sump underneath.
But I mean, if it's precipitated out and it's falling, let's say on the floor of the tank, is it eventually going to just redissolve?
No, because I think it changes from. I think we know better, but changes from one kind of calcium to the other kind.
Oh, so the calcium precipitated out.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Precipitation.
Precipitation, huh?
Uh-huh.
All right.
Interpretation of precipitation.
All right, so you guys let me know when you want to hear my side of this.
You waited for us to ask.
So, Nick, have you fixed your RODI situation?
I don't know. Is on my inline is reading 0, and my pen is still reading 8. So I'm rinsing my pen now. I'm soaking my pen to see if it's got any contaminants on it.
Well, as far as cup or something.
Oh, you're breaking up.
What are you using as a cup?
A cup.
A cup?
A cup as a cup. Yeah, just a cup, a mug.
He's gonna fish you along to find out if you're using a dirty cup or not.
No, I've cleaned it, rinsed it. I've rinsed it with RO, dried it with a with a cloth, rinsed it again. So it's clean.
That matters because no matter what, you're not going to get the TDS out of that cup. That ain't brand new.
No, it's brand new. It's like porcelain. But even if I stick it in the RO container, it's still telling me 10.
Okay.
Which is weird because before it was telling me 3 when my inline TDS was telling me 3, and when it was 12, it was telling me 12. So it was matching my inline, and then now for some reason my inline is saying 0, but my pen is still saying like 8 or 9. But it changes.
Like
might be my pen needs calibrating, I don't know. But like I put it in my tank and it gave me a reading. I put it under the tap and it gave me a reading. So it's not stuck on 8 or 9.
What do you calibrate your pen with?
Sounds like your pen's batteries is low.
No, it doesn't seem to be.
Human
You
error
guys
then.
calibrating distilled water?
Yeah, I just used some distilled water. So, but it was in line with my inline TDS meter. So if my TDS is saying, if my inline TDS was saying 10 and my pen was saying 10, then it was reading it. And when it was higher, it was reading it higher. But for some reason now it's out. I don't know why. So I don't know. It's like if I test the tap water, it's saying the same as my inline on my inlet of my inline. If that makes sense.
You have analyzing kit?
I have what?
You have a kit.
A what kit?
Sterilizing.
In terms of what? What do you mean by sterilizing? Like for they use for babies? Bottles?
Like a medical sterilizing kit.
No.
You don't have one of them? Damn.
No.
In every Reef kit.
No.
Damn, man. Because it sounds like that pen needs to be sterilized.
Well, that's why I'm just like rinsing out to see if it's got anything on it, but it shouldn't have. Like,
what have you been doing
not that
with
old.
that?
Exactly. It's not that old.
So, did you buy that pen in the UK or America?
In the UK.
And that thing is rubbish.
But it's an American pen.
Sorry, guys, I wasn't watching the chat. Yeah, he's saying he's never seen it with Aqua Forest. You know what? I've never seen it with Reef crystals either, because Rico says he takes a 50-pound bag and throws it in the drum and mixes it. So.
Wow.
But you can't do it with Fred.
So, I found out something yesterday about Aqua Forest. 1, 2, 3 solutions, and the solutions are different. The ABC solutions is for people that use calcium reactors.
Right.
That right there made my whole day a lot brighter.
Use Aquaforest?
I don't, but I will probably start doing it.
Really? You're going on to the dark side?
Well, they make solutions that is for people that use calcium reactors. I guess I might as well try it, right?
Yeah, you can use Triton with calcium reactors.
And get what? Double strontium?
Well, depends what you dose.
Like, will Triton
they have a Triton system without strontium?
You do what?
Do they make up a different trace element if you're using a calcium reactor as for if you're not using a calcium reactor?
Depends what media you use in your calcium reactor.
I'm using the Reborn stuff. The actual natural stuff.
Right. Then you're going to get a mixture of elements then, aren't you, with that? Why do you want to use a calcium reactor anyway?
Because I like the natural way of reefing.
I like it when I like it when people defend stuff and they say because I like the natural way. If you like the natural way, then put natural seawater in.
Yep.
That stuff's expensive here, man.
Near a sea.
I liked it in the UK when one of the local stores was advertised they were getting natural seawater, and then people were arguing whether it was any good for your system or not. And I'm like, I like it when people say don't put an aquarium near the window. Like, don't put your aquarium near the window because you'll get the sun shining on it. And I'm like, and?
Oh,
Of course, hate the sun, right?
That is backwards. Yeah. Don't put it near the window because during the winter, when it gets very cold, you're going to get temperature swings.
Yeah. Also, they're a little deeper in the coral reef.
Well, I don't know.
There's no glass magnifier.
No, I know somebody that did a big reef and had it in his I don't know what you call it, like conservatory. We call it a conservatory. I don't know if you call it the same there. You know, so that the ceilings, so it's like a room attached to the house where the ceiling is just glass and the sides are mainly glass.
Yeah,
right?
That's what we call it, conservatory.
Yeah, it's got a conservatory as well. So they put it in so they put it in a big conservatory and just lit it by sun. Just let the sun light it, and the corals were amazing. The growth, everything was amazing.
Dan has a glass ceiling. He says certain times of the year he can do well with it, and other times, so it's just certain months he has trouble with it, so they have to almost block it.
Well, yeah,
you got to have glass walls.
Yeah, they supplemented when it was like winter time, because obviously we're different, parts of the equator or whatever to like Hawaii and Fiji and Bali and stuff. So we don't get the same amount of light or sunlight as they do. But
longitude, I think.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but I don't know. Like people always say, "Oh, you get loads of algae if you stick it in the sun," but it's like, well, you will if you haven't got your nutrient levels right or your controls right. But
I always notice that with my cichlid tanks because they're always running very high.
Yeah.
Yeah. The problem with the sunlight is it is the wrong spectrum. The corals that we have are normally 20 meters deep. Water filters the spectrum and turns it a different color, correct?
20 meters.
20 feet, man. 20 feet.
Still 20 feet. I snorkeled in a coral reef, and I didn't go no 20 feet.
So what you're saying, Narcosis, is you can't put any spectrum onto your coral except for the ones that they received when they're deep in the ocean.
That is not what I said, buddy.
You just said that the sun was the wrong spectrum.
Red light, 5700 is what really see around 700. It's easier to at that.
So let me get this straight. So you're saying that on the reef crests, are you saying particular corals that you have or any coral? Because not all the coral comes from deep in the ocean, right?
Yeah.
Of course not. Of course not.
Because you've got like reef crests as well and rock pools, and that's why some of your SPS, when you take it out, you leave, when you, like what we do is when we get the shipments in and we leave the SPS out of water for like half an hour so that they slime up.
Ah.
And that's a natural. You don't do that? Why not?
Never heard of that.
Yeah, you slime up your coral. Like if you watch if you go onto YouTube, you'll see there's some videos where the tide goes out and the corals are exposed.
Oh yeah, there's videos out there.
Yeah, and then they slime up to protect themselves from drying out. So we do that invigorate the coral, to get it to get invigorated, so that then when we put it into the new system, into our systems, that agitation, that vigoration kind of stimulates them, so it makes it easier for them to deal with the acclimatization.
To adapt.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry, so you're right, to adapt to it. Yeah, because they're invigorated.
There you go.
My return pump, my return chamber went low when I was doing something the other day, and it sucked a lot of air and did like a major bubble scrubbing in the tank. And my chalices just had snot falling off them.
There you go. So they got a good clean.
Yeah.
So, how's your tank doing, Nick? I haven't asked you in a while.
It's doing all right. I lost quite a lot of my SPS because I was sick. And then I had to put one of my dogs down, which didn't make me feel too good. And then we got a new puppy to replace it, so I've been puppy sitting. So I haven't been here a lot. And this is why I was changing my TDS, my RO filters, because I didn't watch what I was doing. And I just was running water, topping up, not realizing that my TDS had creeped up. So a lot of my
with bad water,
so a lot of my corals stripped back, and I lost a load of my corals, and I was like, oh man. And then I checked everything through, and it was my RO filters needed replacing. So that's why I've just done all of that. So I'm just going to strip it all out and do some water changes, and then get some new ones.
Okay.
But I should be good. I only need to change my fills about once a year.
What kind of salt are you going to use for the water changes?
I use natural seawater.
Oh, natural seawater. Okay. Can you get that pretty cheap or no?
I wouldn't say it's cheap. It costs us about £1,400 for 23,000 liters.
So they go down to what? $1 or something a gallon?
Yeah, I'd say, I don't know, maybe.
1,400 pounds. Yeah, sounds good.
It works out roughly the same as mixing up synthetic.
Here's
for us at trade.
Do you think Kalkwasser makes your ORP go up to like 450?
Makes your ORP what?
Up to 450.
Makes your ARP go up to 450?
Yeah.
Well, it depends what your ARP is in the first place, right?
Well, every time I do a water change, my ARP goes down to like 350, and then it goes back up to 450, and then it stays at 450 for like 2 weeks. And I do a water change, and it goes back down to like 350.
Well, yeah, because your particulates is changing.
Well, do you think it's because of my Kalkwasser that I'm dosing?
Well, yeah.
Because you're putting in a fresh water with a fresh salt mix. You're taking out some of the garbage with your water change.
Yeah. You're diluting the particulates when you water change, aren't you?
Yeah.
And then you're putting them back in with the Kalkwasser, because the Kalkwasser itself is particulate, isn't it?
Yep.
Okay.
Come on, Narcosis. You know that.
Well, this is my thing, is why is it driving it up so much higher? Actual salt. And also, do you think high ORP bacteria
High ORP what?
cause cyanobacteria?
It depends. Do you know what ORP is, right?
It is oxygen reduction potential.
Yeah. But do you understand why it causes the ORP? Like what situation it is for that to happen?
The oxygen and the carbon dioxide is less in the water and that's what drives it up, or is it more in the water and that's what drives it up?
So if you use ozone,
Okay.
right?
That'll drive it down.
No. Then your ORP goes up.
Okay.
Because it clears the particulates as well as oxygenating the water, right?
Okay.
And the same with bubbling. That will drive your AWP up as well. Because when you're bubbling, you're clearing particulates and you're adding oxygen as well. So it makes your water more conductive. So you get a higher redox.
Yep.
Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
Yeah. And then you also got to think about the particulates in the water. Then you may get more bacterial action because if the particulates are organic, then you can get more bacteria, which then reduces the oxygen because the bacteria needs oxygen. So you've got two things going on. You've got particulates, which will lower your AWP, and then you've also got, because of those particulates, if it's organic, you've then got bacteria again as well, and then the bacteria is using oxygen. So it's hitting your AWP in two different ways.
Okay. All right. So that makes sense.
Yeah. So if you want to raise your AWP, a good way to do it is bubble method and use ozone for a few hours on an evening. And then both of those things will help remove particulates. Why would you want to lower your AWP?
Because my AWP is at 450 and everybody else's tank is at 350 something.
Right.
So is it being too high? I channel bacteria.
No, I
I
wouldn't say it's your AWP. I would say it's your. Why have you got Sino? What's that feeding off?
Because you didn't get them new light bulbs yet. We had this.
Yeah, no. I have all new light bulbs and everything.
Oh, okay.
It isn't. Come on, man. It isn't that.
Well, I thought that's
I
what
have all
you
new
said.
light bulbs.
You said you needed new light bulbs because you were getting cyano like a month ago. I write all this shit down.
I'll tell you what, Dave, you've got an excellent memory. I'll give you that. Because you observe things and then it comes out hours later and I'm like, how did he remember that? And it's only because you've said it that I've remembered it.
Wait. See, now we're talking about two different tanks.
Okay, I don't even know. I wasn't even paying attention. I was in the chat talking about seawater. I don't know whether to give you control and go away or boot you.
So how much oxygen is in the AWP cloud?
How much oxygen?
That was a stupid question, but I did get you guys to shut up.
So, how much oxygen? I'm not sure, but I do have a SWC 300 skimmer, 120. So I have 2 times the amount of skimmer that I need. So I already know it isn't the oxygen.
Yeah, but your skimmer isn't putting a lot of oxygen into your water anyway.
This one again.
Well, the thing is, I always find it strange because people think that because the skimmers are blowing bubbles through your water that it's putting oxygen. But if you think about it, what your skimmer does, it produces a bubble that remains a bubble, and then all your particulates stick to that bubble, and then it rises to the surface in the throat of your skimmer cup. And then what does it do? It pops, releasing the oxygen in it to the air in the skimmer cup. So at what point does it go into the water? It's a bubble.
So when
it doesn't.
your skimmer is cutting up the smaller bubbles, a lot of those are actually just popping and not making smaller bubbles. And when it does cut it, it is in it is infusing the oxygen into your water.
Only when you get nanobubbles produced, which then have such a high surface tension that they don't pop. And then that's why we do bubble scrubbing, because you're creating nanobubbles, so they dissolve into the water. But the sheer size of the bubble is determined by the...
Nick, wait.
Right.
So, when you put your skimmer airline to the outside, why does your pH go up?
Yeah, because you...
It goes up because it's putting more oxygen into the water.
Yeah, but you've got to also remember, like, why do we put return jets to disturb the water on the water's surface?
To draw
gas
bubbles
exchange.
underwater.
No, for gas exchange.
Yeah.
So you got like osmosis occurring at the top of your water. You've got gas exchanging at the surface of the water. So the same is going to happen in your skimmer cup, in your skimmer.
Yeah.
Because each of those bubbles is like a mini surface. When it rises up and pops, it's like breaking the surface.
Yeah.
But it's like an air stone. When you put an air stone in water, it doesn't really inject air into your water because you've got all these bubbles coming out of it, because they all rise to the surface and then pop. The reason it helps to increase the oxygen is because turbulence of the water enables the water to hold the oxygen better.
Turbulence plus it's basically mixing with air.
So kind of, but the air's got to be, but you're talking dissolved oxygen.
More air you draw.
You know the size of the bubble of your, do you know how the size of the bubble in your skimmer is determined? So why some skimmers produce very frothy, tiny bubbles and why other skimmers produce bigger bubbles?
I'm listening.
Or you're breaking, Narcosis.
Why is that, Nick?
It's because the bubble... Go ahead, Narcosis.
The turbulence or what?
The small...
Can Nick talk? Because
you can't hear you, Narcosis. The size of the bubble is determined by the size of the pins on the pinwheel in the skimmer. So if you imagine, like, you imagine you get a baseball bat and you hit a bubble with that baseball bat, and then you get a pole that's thinner than the baseball bat, and that's spinning around. The size of the bubble is determined by the size of the pins. That's why if you look at other skimmers that use a mesh wheel, they say that the bubbles are finer with a mesh wheel than with a pinwheel, because the mesh is a wire which is thinner than a plastic pin. So that's why people used to like the mesh wheel skimmers. But the only problem with the mesh wheels is that they clog up quicker. So you have to keep maintaining them more. And that's why people go, yeah, you do get finer bubbles, but how efficient is it? Because I have to keep cleaning it all the time. So once it gets clogged up, and if it gets clogged up very quickly, yeah, you do get froth, but not for so long because you have to keep cleaning it. So then the pinwheels became popular because it was a happy medium. You didn't need to keep cleaning them as often, and the bubble size was kind of like good enough.
But if you're really after high dissolved oxygen, an ATS will raise your dissolved oxygen quite a bit because it's working down into dissolved oxygen as opposed to bubbles that have varying amounts of surface area. The smaller bubbles have more surface area than the bigger bubbles.
Yeah.
But the algae works down pretty close to the molecular level.
That's it. And then those dissolve, right, Asa?
Yes, it's dissolved. So it ends up being right near the saturation point.
Yeah.
So how about a grid wheel impeller like I have on my skimmer?
A what wheel?
A grid wheel impeller.
Grid
I don't know
wheel.
what that is.
I am about to educate you right now.
Okay.
So the ATI skimmer, the ATI power cone skimmer,
Yeah.
a grid wheel impeller, a grid wheel, which you can look it up online, and
I'm
that's
Googling it
what I
now.
have on my skimmer.
Grid wheel impeller. Let me have a look. Oh, okay, yeah. So that's like
that
a
right there
So that's
chops
like a
up the
plastic.
bubbles finer than anything.
Yeah, because that's like, if you look at it, like I said, the size of the bubble is determined by the diameter of the pin on the pinwheels, right? So with a grid wheel, that's just like a mesh wheel, but it's made out of plastic instead. So if you look
Very,
at the
very skinny.
side, yeah. So if you look at the diameter of the grids, like the plastic bits that make the grids, the side, the plastic squares, the actual material is very narrow, like with a mesh wheel. So it's the same reason.
Yep.
Because it's a thinner pin, if you like. But with those, I guarantee you probably need to clean it out more regularly than if it was a pinwheel, because when it gets clogged up, then it's not going to work as
Doesn't clog
efficiently.
at all.
It doesn't clog?
Doesn't clog at
Well,
all.
that's probably why, if it doesn't clog, then that's probably why they designed it that way then. So it's an improvement on the mesh wheel. So what they've got there is a more efficient impeller than the pinwheel, but without the
3
negatives
years
of the
going
mesh
strong.
wheel. Yeah. So that's
3
the
years
same
going
reason.
strong. Never clogged. Nothing caught in it. Nothing.
Yeah, so that's the same reason then, like I was saying. So you get finer bubbles because the material that's chopping through the bubble is a thinner material, is a finer material.
Good old German engineering.
Yeah. So yeah, it's pretty good. But it still won't increase the oxygen in your water to any great extent.
Coming in, Seymour. I'm gonna take this link out.
Yeah. So the thing with the algae turf scrubber is that in order for it to get the same amount of oxygen, you would have to put that thing outside, because I draw in fresh oxygen that is 78% hydrogen, 22% oxygen from outside, compared to in my house that's disgustingly full of carbon dioxide.
When you are pulling CO2 in from the inside of the house, it's going to be converted into oxygen by the algae.
Yep.
Yeah, because you're talking two different things, Narcosis. When you're pulling CO2 into your skimmer, all that means is that when you're getting that gas exchange within your skimmer, you're not gas exchanging with oxygen because you're bringing in CO2. So if you have a CO2 scrubber on your skimmer, it means that on the surface within your skimmer cup, you're going to have more oxygen. So what's happening, again, just like the surface of your tank, the gas exchange that's taking place is going to be more oxygen rich, because that's what you're putting in. So when you've put your airline from outside into fresh air, where there's like more oxygen content, you just fill in your skimmer cup with more oxygen rich air for the gas exchange. But it's not.
Okay.
People see, the thing is, you're not by making the bubbles themselves more oxygen rich. It's not making your water more oxygen rich because of the bubbles. It's only making it more oxygen rich because in the skimmer cup is more oxygen. Does that make sense?
So it's making it, because at the top where they pop,
it's going to be more oxygen.
Drawing in more oxygen from right there.
Yeah. Well, this is the thing. It's like when people put air stones in the tanks, they say, I need to get more oxygen in, so I'm going to put an air stone in, and they think it's the air bubbles themselves that are coming out of the air stone that increases the oxygen. it's not that. It's the turbulence that allows the water to hold more oxygen. So when it's got the gas exchange, it's holding more oxygen in the water.
Okay.
That's
So,
right. Is that right,
do you
Asa?
think
What I'm saying?
that me having
Yeah. I mean, there is some interaction. You do get more oxygen if you bubble, but it's not nearly as much as you might think.
Yeah, that's right, isn't it? You are going to get some because you will get tiny nano bubbles formed anyway from the air stone. That's why we use it for bubbling. But like you say, it's not because of all the big bubbles rising and popping at the top of the water that you're getting more oxygen to an extent.
Coming up, Mr. Seymour. Mr. Seymour's coming in.
He's coming in to educate us.
No, he's coming in to talk. We need another person talking.
Yeah, sure. I mean, all these things, though, Narcosis, it's all good stuff. You know, it's all going to benefit. So bringing fresh air in from outside the house is better than recirculating carbon dioxide that's built up because, you know, the family is breathing it out. So it's still beneficial to do.
No, that's exactly what I had to do. No matter how much power heads or air stones or whatever I did, until I hooked my skimmer line, you know, to pull in air from outside, I wasn't able to get, you know, my pH any higher. If you're doing it on the inside, all you're doing is it's the same air that the family, like exactly what you said, living in an apartment, a tight space, and the windows are sealed, you know, no fresh air coming in. All you're doing is just bringing the tank with equilibrium with whatever carbon dioxide heavy air you have in the apartment. So until you have a way of bringing in outside air, because I noticed that if I go away for all day, the pH would go up, drift up. Or if I went away for a day and left the window cracked, the pH would skyrocket. So it had to do with me breathing. And if I'm here, I tried 2, 3, 4 air stones in the past. It didn't work. Unless I was bringing in fresh air from outside.
Yep. What if you put your bubbler outside?
What?
So, do you think the lack of carbon dioxide is causing the cyanobacteria?
Lack of carbon dioxide?
Yes, sir.
Wait, why would
it's creating cyanobacteria? I don't know. I never heard of that.
I thought it was low. Wait, I'm confused. High.
You got to think like narcosis. You got to think like any organism in your aquarium, right, needs things to survive. Yeah. So what does the cyanobacterium need to survive? It needs something to eat. It needs atmosphere, so it needs oxygen, and it also is photosynthetic, so it needs light. Right?
And nutrients.
Yeah, nutrients for food. So if you remove one of those things, it's not going to do too well. So the reason, like in a mature system, you'll pretty much you'll pretty much not have cyano, is because your other stronger bacteria levels, your autotrophic bacteria levels, will rob the cyano of the nutrients because they convert it much more readily. A bit like having an algae turf scrubber, you know, getting rid of hair algae in your main display because it more readily uses up the nutrients than the nuisance algae in your display. So the reason you've got cyano is because you've got abundance of one of those three things or more. So you've got to look at nutrient levels, and that's why they say to get rid of cyano, increase your flow, because if you've got a dead spot in your system behind a rock, say, then you're going to have a collection of nutrients there because it's not getting swept up into the water column and taken out into your filtration, into your export method. So it's just dwelling in that area, and then the cyanobacteria makes use of it. And you can't take oxygen out of the water because obviously your fish and your coral would die. And again, you can't always take the light off the water because if you've got corals, they need it. So I would look at... Go ahead, Asa.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I was just saying that since I run an algae scrubber and I dump maybe a half cup of food a day, I never get cyano because my nutrient levels are so low.
Yeah, because your algae scrubber is utilizing it much more efficiently than the cyano can.
Right.
Well, I used to have a algae turf scrubber on the tank.
It probably wasn't well designed.
Oh no, it was well designed. It pulled out a lot of algae.
Yeah, but is it pulling out enough?
Clean it like every 3 days, and it was 22 inches by 16 inches.
Yeah, but the thing is, Narcosis, if you're going to say that I had an algae scrubber and I still had cyano, that doesn't mean anything. That's like me saying, well, I've got a skimmer and I still get a lot of gunk in my tank. Because if that's the case, then the skimmer isn't good enough.
Yeah, I have a skimmer, you know what I mean? For way large of a tank because I have an overstock tank, but that doesn't mean like if I dump in 10 cubes of mysis a day, like, yeah, the skimmer is working well, but there's a point where, you know, maybe the tank is overstocked or it's not doing its job or something.
Too much.
Yeah, so you can't, you know, like to say it was working well or it was well designed and saying things like that in absolutes, you know. You do that a lot, Narcosis. I gotta say, you do things. You'll come on and you're
trolling us.
Sometimes I wonder if he's trolling because he'll come off and say, "No, if you do that, you will get cyano." And I'm like, "Huh? Like, how can you speak in like absolute terms like that?"
It's like me saying, you know, it's like me saying I don't understand why my corals aren't growing because I've got like 4 Radiant Gen Pros on this tank. You can't get any more lighting than I've got. But if that lighting isn't tuned correctly to the spectrums, and if the corals' water isn't good, and if their nutrition isn't good, and you know, and so on and so on, it doesn't matter how many lights I have on there. It's still not going to do the job.
You also have the best lights and they're either turned down too low or turned up too high.
Or even if they're just not tuned in right to the right spectrum. It's not going to do anything.
Oh,
no matter the volume.
I got Nick on one of them freaking rants tonight. I like it.
But that's the thing though, Narcos. It's like, if you've got cyano, then it's getting something that it needs. It's getting everything that it needs. So you have to target one of those things. And usually it's nutrients, because light you can't really do much about. Oxygen in the water you can't really do much about. You don't want to remove those things. So it's always usually down to nutrients. So it's like with it's like why don't I have my lights on for 5 to 6 weeks when I set up a system? Because I don't want to have that algae phase. But everyone says to me, oh, you're just delaying it. Okay, so why in a mature system, why is it called a phase? It comes and then it goes. So why does it come but then go? The reason is because the algae spores need, no, it's not just nutrients. Well, which nutrients? What nutrients have I got at the beginning of a cycle that I haven't got when the cycle is completed and is matured, which is when the algae phase goes away? It's because there's free ammonia in the system at the beginning because the bacteria isn't fully established. So the ammonia spores uses the ammonia to germinate and then goes on to use nitrates and phosphates. But later on, when the bacteria is more established and is more efficient at converting that ammonia and the nitrates and the phosphate, that's why it dies back again. And that's why we call it a phase. So that's why I don't like the tank for the first 6 weeks.
One time I read a paper that suggested that you go and buy some, excuse me, gosh, I can't think of the stuff that silicate. And you dose the tank with silicate when you first start the tank. And then what happens is you get a big diatom bloom. You just keep upping it until you get the bloom. And then the idea is that most of the receptor sites, so to speak, where algae might attach is already populated with diatoms.
Yes.
so it's less likely for you to get algae.
Yeah, because the diatom is going to convert everything quicker, more efficiently than the algae itself.
Yep.
And it has nowhere to latch, right?
So, is it diatoms that cause marine velvet in fish? Is it diatom or dinoflagellates?
I haven't heard that one before.
Yeah, I do that before I put the fish in anyway.
Okay.
I do I did that like day one.
Yeah, I got you. Sounds like something that you should have made a video on so we could have seen it. That would have been awesome. No,
Yeah, if I had, well, you know, I'm an old man, and back in my day, they didn't have those videos.
Exactly.
This was back in the day. I got you. That makes a lot of sense.
Actually,
You're
it was
talking
probably about
old school, old school experience.
I started 25 years ago, but this was about 10 years ago when I restarted the tank.
Okay.
And now I'm on my third generation.
Third generation tank. I got you.
The thing is, Narcosis, can you remember when I set up my office tank? And I said then that I'm going to switch my lights off for about 5 to 6 weeks. And people were saying, why are you doing that? I said, because I don't want the algae bloom. And they said, oh, you're just delaying it. It'll come. You're just delaying it because as soon as you switch your lights on, you'll get the algae. I still haven't had it yet.
Well, beef tank, and I cured it in a bin for like three months.
You broke Narcosis.
I'm breaking up again. Okay.
Yeah, just say. Can you hear you now? Say again.
All right. So I pretty much did the same cycle as you did, but I did it a different method. I had cured my rock in a bin, you know, in the darkness for like 3 months, and then I finally put it in the tank, scaped it up, and then, you know, put the water in. So.
Yeah, but did you feed the rock with bacteria or?
That's what I was going to ask.
No.
So
I didn't feed. Well,
I'd put some fish food in there
with a piece of 5-year-old live rock. So I put that in there, and then.
Yeah, but how are you creating new bacteria though?
I put some shrimp and some fish flakes in the bin.
Good.
So.
But that's the thing, because you've got to create new bacteria. You've got to feed that back. It's like I say to people, like, your first livestock isn't the fish. The first livestock that you're looking after is the bacteria. The fish that you put in is to look after the bacteria, because then when you've grown and established the bacteria, then they look after the fish.
Yeah.
So that's why I explain it that way.
So, do you think that frozen cubes of food, like fresh food, do you think that causes more ammonia and also gives you more bacteria than like pellet food?
Yeah, I'd say so, depending on what's in the pellet food, because you get good pellet food and you get bad pellet food. But yeah, if you put like in the old days, the way we used to cycle, we used to put a dead fresh shrimp in there and just leave it to decompose, producing ammonia.
Yep.
But you know, my favorite food is to use fresh seafood and make my own frozen food with it. You know, rather than buy the store-bought cubes, because there's no. If I go to the supermarket and buy packets of fresh prawns and mussels and squid and fish and mash it all up, then I haven't put any preservatives in it, because in the frozen food they use preservatives, which is phosphate is a preservative. So that's why they say
sodium.
Yeah, so that's why they say, well, rinse out your frozen food before you put it in the tank to get rid of, you know, phosphates in it, but you won't get rid of it because it's soaked into the food. That's why it's a preservative. There's no point. There's no point in putting a preservative into something if it's just going to sit on the top. It's got to soak into that food to preserve it. So even though you rinse it off, unless you're feeding, a ton of cubes a day, my argument is that you're actually not really, by rinsing your food off, you're not actually really preventing any high increase of phosphate at all, because the little bit
If you
that's
make
going
it
to be in the
yourself,
water,
it's cheaper anyway.
Yeah, exactly. I make it myself. I know what's in it. There's no preservatives. I can add, we can get nutrient sprays that you can spray onto your food. So I add that, and it's all fresh stuff.
The food that I do feed is called Limpets, which is a guy that makes the food here in Wisconsin, and he doesn't put any preservatives in it. And that's the food I feed, other than pellets.
Yeah, so he's probably doing what I do, but then selling it, right?
Yeah, he sells it. Yep. He basically just buys all the actual stuff, then he puts it in like kind of like a sheet brick, and then he just sells it in packets.
Yeah, I just mash it all up, and then I put it in a freezer bag or between some cling film, and then flatten it out, and then freeze it like that. And then when I feed the fish, I just break a little piece off and then throw it in.
That's exactly what I do.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, just get some fish and some squid and some shrimp. And put it in a blender.
Exactly. The fish love it.
I was gonna do that, but I just need to buy a cheap blender.
Walmart, man, it's your best friend.
Yeah. I'm about to get a new blender, so I might just use the old one to do my blending.
If you do that, Seymour, you watch your fish that go crazy for it.
And besides, you can use your new blender. It's not going to contaminate it. It's just fish. It's fresh fish. Just wash it and put it on the shelf.
I tell him that to the wife.
Come on now, man. His wife ain't gonna let him use his blender. Mine would kill me.
No, your wife shouldn't have a problem with it because it's just fresh fish.
Yeah, but Asa shouldn't. And the fact that he does is too man. Asa, that's I'd rather buy my own blender than fight that fight.
Hey, I tell you what, Seymour, you know what you do? Do it this way. Go and get some fish, go and get some squid, go and get some prawns, chuck it in the blender, and then you go, right, half is for my tank, and the other half I'm going to make some fish pate with it.
Okay, I still, look, so once it's for the fish tank, my wife...
Then cook it and then serve it to your wife for her dinner.
Once...
And say, hey, my dear, I love you so much. I made you some fish pate for dinner, some fish cakes. Fresh fish cakes.
Once it's related to the fish tank, my wife wants nothing to do with it. In fact, so I have already lost that battle. So I have my own stuff. I have my own.
You can get. Have you seen those mini blenders? I don't know if you guys have them over there. You just basically can just a handheld one.
Yep.
You just put it in a little cup or something.
Actually,
you could just do that.
You know what I just found? I just found a blade, like a separate. I have a Ninja blender, so I just found a blade for my Ninja blender. So I'll just use the blade when I'm doing it. Boom.
Because then you can just make a small amount at a time.
So boom, problem solved.
Yeah, you just make a small amount at a time.
Is she Jamaican too or no?
So wait, let me take some notes because I think I might have lost my notes. So I know you said mussels.
Anything that's fresh. Don't get anything that's pickled or cooked or get it all fresh. But everything.
Just go to the fish counter.
Yeah,
the fish counter. Just go to the fish counter and get some frozen stuff.
All right, so fish, salmon,
squid.
Oh, squid. Ooh.
You're better off rather than salmon, which is like a river fish. You're better off more with a saltwater fish.
Like
just like a cheap white flesh saltwater fish.
All right, tilapia.
And you can typically get squid out of the frozen food section if they don't have it on in the cabinet, and they'll sell maybe 5 or 10 in a pack, and you break off one and throw that in the blender.
No, I'm in Brooklyn, New York, so it's a huge West Indian area. So within, like, let's say a 1 mile radius of me, I have 4 fresh fish stores. So getting all the stuff fresh.
But then how many people buy squid to eat?
I could get you know what, you're right about the squid. Probably the squid. All right. And shrimp. I'd put shrimp in, but make sure you take off the shell first.
Well, you don't necessarily have to.
Wait, hang on.
You don't need to.
Do I don't need to? All right, cool by me.
No.
It's cheaper with to getting in the it's cheaper.
Weren't we talking about somebody something eating the tails and the what were we talking about there?
That's cheap food.
No, I eat it. I don't. My wife peels it. I don't peel my shrimp when I'm eating it. I chew everything. I chew everything.
We were talking about shrimp breeding.
Yeah.
That's what we were talking about with the tail.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
But that stuff will break down anyway. It's like when my shrimp shed the skin, I don't take it out of the system. I just leave it.
Yeah, me too.
So something that is good in the shell of the shrimp is iodine. Get some good stuff.
Yeah, makes sense.